Hello, 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 hello. The UKPK, hello. Mikey 1000, Ian, hello. BNS, howdy. So, let's see if I can invite people on. Ha ha ha. Maximilian Sando, what, mate? Sean Bassey, hello. Rajvot, hello. Where am I doing? Okay, let's go here. Shaz, hello from Scotland. Carl Shivites Jagnath. Oh. Speaker's Corner Skits 2. Raj is coming here, I believe. Go Jeremy Corbyn. Hello, go Jeremy Corbyn. Please don't support Corbyn. He is a nutcase. Dwayne Dibley, hello. Cut you, cut you. I'm not sure what that means, but hello. Tivatap, hello. Kafaphobia TV. I'm not sure what that means, but I could hazard a guess. Jesse James. So that's been sent. Do I need to send one to Betty? Let's just send it to Betty, then she can choose, can't she? Phil Green, Barry White. Hello, hello, hello. Why do I always have trouble inviting Betty on? Is something not right? Let's just do it another way. Yeah. No, what? Notification. Oh, you've changed your name, Betty. Good evening. Good evening. Tivatap. Jesse James. Who else is down here? Graham Dunlop. Hello. My name is supposed to be ironic. Oh, I see. Sorry, go Jeremy Corbyn. I apologise. Irony obviously is not something that I'm talented enough to understand clearly. Apologies. Romy Tobinson. I always get my tongues twisted when I pronounce your name. Lee Hughes, hello. Sean Bassey. Yeah, Betty always is, isn't she? Shivites is saying Tulupchun was back in the park talking beep about Raj again. The beep beep. Yeah, they don't get on, do they? Adnan, hello, mate. Raj said it was tranny night for you, so wasn't doing. No, I don't think so. Did Tan get his iPad back? Let's find out. It's a good question. I've sent a message out to Hassan so he can confirm if he got his iPad back. Even I was like, oh my God, the iPod is the most important thing. No, it wasn't really. Academic screeching. Wagwan. Did I say that right? Maximilian Sandu is actually very good at doing a Jamaican accent. Okay, David Hudson has joined us. Welcome. Oh, okay. So anybody who wants to see, okay, let's have a look at your channel then. Speaker skits to go to channel. Oh. Okay, so let me play that then. 1 minute, mate. 1 minute. 1 minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay. Do a screen share. Screen share. notification window. That one there. Share. You're not going to hear any noise sound, unfortunately, guys, but let's just have a look. 8 minutes? Laugh. Hello, Morton Hire. Morton Hire, thank you. Thank you, Sean Bussey. Anyway, I hope you guys can see the screen. Where does he... One life, live it. Hello. It's about to kick off in the video. Look. Terrible. Oh, somebody said something to one of the ladies there. Osman Aslam, that's not how you spell tranny, mate. It's Trany. If you're going to criticize me, at least spell it right. Oh, you got it the second time. Well done, mate. I'm still not offended though. Hello, Manny. You do know who I am. Oh, do I? Oh. Any clues? MC Daniel Dill M Dill. Oh, whoa, what happened? I missed it. Let's rewind it this bit. Yeah, but who was it that did that? So we don't see who actually does it. It's a very quick maneuver. Matthew Evans is in the house. What? Right, so guys, what did you all think of Tan's speech while we're waiting for Raj, Hassan, Betty, and everybody else? What did you guys think? Type. W Akram, Smelly B, go change your clothes. What? Oh, no, you deleted it. Let's look. Go change your clothes, have a shower. Who, me? Weird. I mean, why are you so bothered about my hygiene? Was it for me? It might not even be me. Normally, Raj gets those. Anyway, so guys, what did you think of Tan's speech? It's more of the same what we had 2 weeks previously. Jesse James is saying it was boring, highly Stanford. Tan's speech was awful. Scarlet Fox is saying. Guy nicked Tan's iPad. Oh, Bienison is the guy's called Mohammed. Okay. I'm not sure if he wanted to nick it or you smash it because he was obviously angry. Play 31 minute 29 of Tan's speech. I can't get the sound to come through, Lexi. Okay. It was silly. Please have cameras. I hope they start banning people off the park. Tan got mad at Gerardo. Yeah, you said that. Was my friend, no context. Okay, fair enough. Also, Manny, that was in bad taste quoting the 10th Master and Raj in the same video. 10th Master and Raj? Hi, Bobby. He made some basic comments again. Yeah, I heard that, Marie. Hello. I think now Tan's speech. Hi, Betty. Betty, I have sent you a link. It'll come through in Hangouts. I think Tan's speech is too anger driven, and it's creating too much emotional insecurity, and there's too much negative emotions in Speaker's Corner. So now we have to start thinking, is that his objective? And let me clarify what I mean in regards to that. Raj is joining us. Well, let me just clarify. Please don't play your tune when you come in, Raj. I don't think I can deal with it. I think we have to question why Tan is on a weekly basis looking to create tension rather than providing reasoning behind what he's saying on what he's doing. Because I'm just going to say it as it is. I don't think majority of people who attend Speaker's Corner are emotionally, intelligently, and any other way mature enough to understand and appreciate free speech. And what I mean by that is they don't come there ready to be offended. They come there to be participants of the latest episode of EastEnders. And if you don't know what EastEnders is, it used to be this rubbish program that used to be on BBC every single week. There used to be a breakup every single week. There used to be somebody smashing something, getting drunk, and somebody dying, and all this horrible, horrible stuff. It might still be on. I haven't watched it for about 6 years now, but it just seems like people are not ready to appreciate free speech. Raj, your thoughts, please, bro.
Yeah, I've already said it on my one, but I'll repeat it. I've cut all ties with Tan now. It's hard for you people to understand because he spoke about somebody and their baby that I actually know, and I don't know if it's true, but for me that was like the line that I totally.
Whose baby?
I don't want to go into it online. It's private, but he said something, and I can't believe he even said it. To be honest with you, I don't know what's going through that man's head. So yeah, I've cut my ties with him fully. I still had a little, what I call kind of a little link to him, and I still wanted to believe that he was still the same. I'm not doing the music today because Manny said I can't. All right, so yeah, I'm moving on. I mean, Tan's Tan. He's doing his own thing. If that's the route he wants to go down, I don't want to be part of it. And so he can go down his own route. I've got my own route as well, and obviously I've got my own battles, which are going to happen on Sunday. So I haven't got time to be thinking about Tan's shenanigans and what he's up to.
What battles have you got?
Oh, they're using. I don't know if you've seen the video. Saeed Ali Diva's little prostitute is using this Sikh uncle. Remember that Sikh uncle when we was in McDonald's?
And
I yeah. Remember there was a guy called Talochan and he was standing there. Remember you and Hassan were there. Remember? And this Sikh guy with a turban turned up, and I was recording him. Yeah, they use. You know, I feel sorry for this guy because this little uncle, yeah, cannot speak English properly. He's from Afghanistan. Talochan, yeah, that cokehead, is using him to get at me, and I don't want to fight this uncle because this uncle's got nothing to do with it. But Saeed is using him to get to me now, and it's really sad. Like, I mean, look, I'm telling you, if that little uncle comes up to me, because he's saying now he's going to destroy. What does he say? He's going to destroy me, and it's like, why you come? They're using Saeed is using this uncle, yeah, who can hardly speak English, to get to me, and he's saying to this uncle on video. So he's made a video about me. He said on the thingy that I've been saying disgusting things about Saeed's cousin. Talking about eyelashes is not a disgusting thing. So they're manipulating this Sikh here to do their little, what I call their little thingy. And I'm telling you something now. I don't care if you're Sikh. I'll ruin you if you start going messing around.
But why are you affected? The chap's only about 4'2" tall.
No, it's not about that. I don't like what they're trying to do is to try and do shit stirring between Sikhs. They want the Sikhs the same way they use the blacks, yeah, the gang to do their dirty work. They want to use that little Sikh guy now to do the dirty work. And what they're going to make me do is get me in front of a camera, blasting him, and then make me look like a bad guy. But that's not going to happen. I'm ignoring that guy, if I'm being honest with you. When he comes over to me, I'm ignoring him. I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to play their stupid game. If they want Sikhs to come down, trust me, I can get Sikhs to come down. Yeah, and it's not going to be a pretty sight. And I can tell you that straight now. I've made more connections this week than you. I'll talk to you, Manny, in private, but I've made more connections this week than you would ever know. So let's not even go down that route with this one little Sikh guy trying to kind of like what's sad for me, he's being used by Saeed. Saeed has done 3 separate videos with him now, putting words into his mouth like, oh, you're going to destroy Raj. So Saeed, you gutted one prick. Don't manipulate this guy who's a refugee from Afghanistan to do your dirty work. Let your Muslim Ummah do the dirty work, and let's see how far they get. They won't get nowhere.
I mean, I think even Taluchan, is that how you pronounce it? I think even he appreciated that that chap that you're referring to, if I remember correctly, was slightly intoxicated. So maybe he's okay when he's sober. And
yeah. The thing is, I'm not going to look. This uncle, before everyone starts saying bad things about him, he doesn't even know what's going on. He's being manipulated by Taluchan, and because Taluchan and me hate each other. Taluchan is a cokehead, full stop. And so they're going to use this little Sikh who can hardly speak English. He's got family from Afghanistan. He's a refugee. And now Saeed is now using him. And that girl with the big eyelashes is using him to do their dirty work. And trust me, that's not working. You're not going to use a Sikh brother here like that. I may not like him, but don't do shit stirring with him and manipulate a guy that's a refugee to get to me. Use your own freaking retarded Muslim Ummah.
So is the Betty's waiting? But I remember seeing a video that Tommy Robinson cornered some mental health patient who had sent him death threats, and it turned out Ali Diva.
Ali Diva.
Okay, Ali Diva. Okay.
No, that's his name, Ali Diva.
Okay, well, and he blamed him that he was the one that set him up. So do you think Saeed is using Ali's same technique of trying to manipulate people?
All right. Do you know me? The first time I met Taluchan, do you know how I got to know about Taluchan? Through Ali Dawa. Ali Dawa done a video calling me out and saying Taluchan was going to get me. Now, who survived the park? Me or Taluchan? Taluchan was gone. So Taluchan, I embarrassed him, by calling him a cokehead because he was going for me. Now what he's doing, he's sided with the Muslims. Now I'm going to say to Sikhs, this Taluchan, is siding with the Muslims, and I'm telling you something now. He's got dual loyalties because his wife is Muslim. He is not Sikh, I'm telling you that straight now. He's a cokehead. He's somebody who's a misogynist. He is in no way I'm not a good representation for Sikhs, full stop. But he is even worse than me. Trust me. Spend 10 minutes with a guy, and that guy is one of the most vulgar people you're gonna meet. What he is doing, he's sided with obviously Saeed and them lot. And they're using this little Sikh guy to now do the dirty work. I'm telling you something now. You put that little Sikh guy in front of me, 2 things will happen. One, I'm going to ignore him. But if he starts going pure stupid and doesn't leave me, I will destroy him. I'm not going to be, I have no qualms about doing it if I have to. Because the thing is, I'm not going to have these little Taluchan and all those, what I call backstabbing pricks who are trying to work. Let me tell you something now, Do you know, have you ever heard of a Sikh? I'm going to ask this to Manny. Have you ever heard of a Sikh, when you're talking about grooming, back the Muslims?
No, no, never.
No, never. The only person I've ever seen it 4 times I got it on video was Taluchan. When I used to talk about grooming, he would say, what about the white pedophiles? Who says that normally?
Of course, I understand your point.
Yeah. He's the only Sikh, even Sikhs that hate me, when I talk about grooming, they say, Raj, I don't like you, but on that one issue, you're right. The only person that has backstabbed me in front of everybody, when I'm talking about grooming, is Taluchan. So I'm telling you something now. This Taluchan, is a traitor, and he is somebody that is a disgrace to the Sikh community. Whatever I am, I'm not a good Sikh. I know that. But that guy has no loyalty to our people.
So another way of looking at that, Raj, is that if he is married to a Muslim lady, then he might feel torn. So he has to agree with certain individuals. So we can just handle that and appreciate his position.
Yeah, but I don't appreciate. All right, if you want to do, if Taluchan wants to go for me, go for me. You saw what happened to him. He never came back to the park. But what he's doing, he's using this old he's a refugee, for God's sake. This old man. I got nothing against this uncle, but don't use this uncle to get to me. Now Saeed is manipulating him, yeah. And I'll play the video later once we talk to Betty and stuff. And he's doing videos, like 3 videos, using this uncle who cannot speak English, yeah, who cannot speak English properly. He's a refugee, and he is using him to manipulate him and say stuff about me like he's going to destroy me when he never said that.
Where do I see these videos?
I can play it now if you want.
Yeah, go on then.
Right,
so before you do, let's get Betty in. Hi, Betty.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, we're having a little Sikh thing at the moment, so
that's okay. Let's get Betty to give her opinion about Tan's speech if you saw it before Raj plays the video.
Yeah.
You know, I listened to a bit of it, but then I got bored. I can't understand his English. His broken English is just too bad. And when he starts ranting and raving, there's no way I'm going to understand it. I need a transcript. I just think of him as a cartoon character, like a super troll. But I see that he got chased out of the park again, or removed from the park.
Yeah. Well, I think they removed him when he was attacked. If you could call the hand swiping his iPad a attack, but essentially it was. So they removed him, or they asked it. They took him outside, and that was the end of that.
You know what? You know the funny thing is, you can imagine this one Chinese man. Could you imagine if 10 Chinese men turned up? What would happen?
Oh God.
It is beginning to look very suspicious in regards to how everything is being orchestrated. I must admit, trying to practice your free speech around people who have no comprehension of how to appreciate the freedom of free speech. Is looking a bit suspicious if they can't handle it and they don't know it and they can't appreciate it, and what you're doing is causing racial and religious hatred. Then try a different technique. Why continue to go down that path where it's becomes too volatile? Because as we've seen 3 weeks on the road, the environment is very hostile. And it's all right for blokes walking around there and what have you, but for women and children and what have you, and everyone watching on television, it doesn't look right. Whether we realize it or not, those of us that go to Speaker's Corner and speak or debate, we are in the public eye, and if we come across as if we're causing division and hatred, it's just going to snowball throughout the UK. That's my opinion anyway.
Let me just play the video, then we'll move on to Tan in a bit. So this uncle is being used by Thalochan. Yeah, remember, this uncle can't speak English. He's a refugee from Afghanistan, and they're making him do him and Saeed, Thalochan and Saeed, are trying to manipulate him into getting me. So watch this video of this uncle. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Give a message for our real right. Last year, stop being that pigeon food. You can put the bad to it. Chicks say you love it. You know what? We got a message for Raj from a real Sikh here. It's going to be on my channel tonight. Watch it. It's eating. Are we done already? We're done. It's done. Yeah. It's done. Have you been to the bar before, innit? Have you been to the bar before?
Yeah.
I've
been here before, but I didn't do anything. But today, I was seeing.
You went in hard, and it's the real message in English and in Punjabi. Yeah. Real from a real. He's a real Sikh, and the other one's a fake Sikh. Well, he's very, very angry with Raj. Yeah. His behavior. Yeah. Okay. Give us a
brief. He doesn't do well. Sikh culture. That's why I'm angry.
Yeah. Okay. So you're hoping by the message you give him, will change his ways.
That's the one. Because if he's gonna see me on his Facebook or whatever, YouTube or whatever, he's gonna see me. He's gonna take more bait, proper turban, proper seat. And he come here and talk. Otherwise, there's no point to come here.
Spreading hate. Thalochan got a big beard as well, but I don't think he respects Thalochan.
I don't know about Thalochan, but because it's
Raj doesn't respect Thalochan.
Yeah, Raj doesn't respect Thalochan because Thalochan, he's against him as well because he's not a proper Sikh. That's why he hates him. That's why.
Yeah, I got it now. So yeah, catch the thing on site.
don't mind, isn't it?
Are we gonna come here regular here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please ride from now on.
Alright, well Roger's supposed to be here next week.
Next week, I'll be here anyway.
Yeah,
He said if Roger doesn't stop this shit, he's gonna smash him up. He's gonna stop saying shit like fantasy community and all of that stuff. That's right. Yeah. He's gonna smash him up.
Now what's your name? What's the name of him?
Sing.
Mr. Singh.
The real Sing.
Okay. Alright, cool. Please. Alright.
Yeah, so look how sad that is, yeah?
It's very sad. I feel sorry for him.
You have this uncle who is a refugee. There's another video which is very sad as well. And I'm going to say something to Saeed, you gut-dwelling turd, you prick, you cunt. When I see you, the gloves are off. Don't use an old uncle to do your dirty work. You want to do it, you come to me and you try it. Like you did last time when you fouled. Yeah, I'm not having you going around putting words into this uncle's mouth saying that he's going to destroy me and all this and all that. Yeah, if you want to take the gloves off, we'll take the gloves off. Yeah, not obviously not physically, but metaphorically. Because I'm telling you something now. This is disgusting stuff that he's doing now. Yeah, look at how he's manipulating this guy that can hardly speak English and making him say things that, you know, he's not really saying. We saw him in McDonald's. And should I play that video? I don't know if I should.
Yeah.
Well, I'll play that video of McDonald's. It's kind of weird though. So before I put the video up, yeah, me and Talochan have had a lot of history, and he's getting this uncle to do his dirty work. So this uncle has said to me that I can't go speaker's corner unless I have a long beard and a turban. Basically, he's doing like Sharia on me, saying that I'm not allowed to talk. I don't even talk about religion anyway. But I think Talochan has been shit stirring behind the scenes, saying I'm talking about religion, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And you remember what happened? This is what happened in MacD's. This is very strange though. Watch this. This is 2 weeks ago.
We'll put this on as well. No one's touching me.
So they're just standing there watching me.
Hold on, one second.
Sorry about it. How are you? Nice to meet you. I've seen the video. How's your day?
I'm embarrassed, yeah. I'm embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie.
See, the legend was being civil with you.
No. Talochan was being civil with you.
Oh.
He said, "How you doing, Manny?" To me,
No, but he didn't say anything to you negatively.
You want to show other recordings when he called me a marchot, panchot, kabuttered? That's all he calls me. So when he's with you, he's nice. But with me, I've got videos after videos on that day as well where he's just cussing me out. Even on that video when he spoke to Saeed, he said that eat pigeon food, you kabuttered. Yeah, so he called me a marchot, a mother effer. Yeah, and this is why this guy is a nasty piece of work. And what he's doing, I'm going to say to everybody here, I've said it before, Talochan is a traitor. Talochan is working with the Musliman. First of all, he worked with Ali Dawa, yeah, and there's a video of him with Ali Dawa. Now he's using this uncle to try to get to me, as you can see through that video, and now he's using Saeed, he's using him as well. And I'm not going to be having that. If I really wanted to, yeah, I could find out who that guy is and have people talk to him. I'm not going to say what I'm going to say, but I'm just saying, I don't want to have an argument with this old uncle, but I will destroy that uncle if he starts messing about with me.
He was, to be honest, I think he was a little bit intoxicated that time when you saw him in where that video was taken, so, and obviously Saeed is probably playing mind games and corrupting his mind. So I wouldn't worry about it, mate.
No, it's not about worrying. Yeah, I don't like people using vulnerable people. Yeah, to try and get at me. Use yourself. If Talochan wants to go for me, go for me. Yeah. If Saeed wants to go for me, go for me. Don't use this uncle, this old Afghan uncle. He's going to humiliate himself. Because I will have to humiliate him if he starts messing about with me too much. And I don't want to do that because I know he's an innocent bystander being used. And he's tiny, for God's sakes. I remember standing next to him. I thought I was standing next to a gnome. And guess what the Muslim ones are saying? All the Muslims are saying, yeah, he's a real Sikh. Do you know when a Muslim says someone's a real Sikh, what they mean is that that's their chamcha. Do you know what chamcha is? A spoon, their slave. They love Sikhs like that. I'm paying that bullshit, Jizzy. You're mad. He may pay it. I'm not paying it. All right, so let's go on to the next topic. Let's start talking about Tan then and get that freaking crazy speech out of the way. So let's talk about it a bit more.
I reckon we should get Betty and Tan on a live stream sometime and let Betty interview him.
I don't really think there's any point now. I think he's lost these. Unmute yourself, Betty.
Sorry.
Women are allowed to talk for 5 minutes now.
I know, but I won't understand the word he's saying. Well, I can understand him when he's not shouting, but if he starts shouting, I really struggle to understand what he's saying. At this rate, he either has to go back to English class or I'm going to have to go to Chinese class because I really cannot understand what he says when he starts shouting.
I just think that when he is giving his speech, that he is shouting at the very top of his voice, and that's why he's distorted. When you do converse with him normally, he's perfectly easy to understand.
Yeah, I can understand him when he's not shouting. But when he starts shouting, that's it. I had to sort of understand.
But when you do get to know him and speak to him on a social level, he actually is a very nice guy. He's very polite, very well mannered, intelligent. But when he's doing his speeches on the material, it is misleading to what his real personality is.
Yeah, but he's got. I mean, this one was just so. Like,
is he writing it? I don't believe he wrote it. I don't believe he wrote that speech. I heard more of it. I don't believe he wrote it.
He may have had some help. I think the problem is that you're quite racist against Chinese, so you don't think
I'm just racist about Chinese. I don't believe he wrote it.
But hold on. There are people here that I know that their English is very bad when they're speaking verbally, but they can write it perfectly. So you've got to understand that.
No, but I don't, because at the end of the day, he was complaining about black people and some other people and stuff like that, and I'm just like, what I noticed was he changed the word. I didn't hear the N word. He didn't do that N word. He was just like black people, and I was just like, no little Chinese man from Malaysia is going to be so concerned with blackness. There's no way he would be that concerned. He'd be on Chinese problems. You have to tell me why he would be so concerned to make a whole speech. And the prophet, how can the prophet left his people that he's supposed to be prophesying to?
Yeah, but you're being quite racist yourself.
No, but it's true.
Listen to what you're saying. You're saying that because he's Chinese, all he should really be concerned about is Chinese issues.
Yeah, he should be concerned with Chinese problems.
But maybe he thinks more broader than that and is worrying about everything.
No, he's not worried about everything, because the fact of the matter is, if he was a real prophet, let's be serious, if he was really coming here to prophesy stuff, first and foremost, the prophecy is meant to be in your own homeland. You're meant to do the prophecy in your own homeland, sort out the problems in your own homeland, then also the people start hearing about the good work you're doing. Yeah, you don't fly into a country.
I do agree with that. It is a little bit disturbing that he's not British, and yet he's saying what he is. There is some reality to what Betty's saying. Like, should we be concerned? I'm going to tell you why. There was I think a Norwegian or Scandinavian chap came to Speaker's Corner, and I don't heckle anybody. I want them to have their message, but I did heckle this chap because he wasn't a British chap, but he was telling everybody to join the EU. And if I apply that same logic to Tan, then obviously, like, we need to be presented with information so we can make our own mind up, not being told what we should and shouldn't be doing.
But can I just say something? He did say the N word quite a lot. I think he probably
did,
said it 10 times.
He did.
So he said the N word again today. Well, that shows you that I don't understand what he's saying. I told you I don't understand half of what he's saying.
He called people gorillas and monkeys and everything. You must really understand he's English.
No, I don't understand that, and I get bored after a while because I just think he's boring. The thing is, after a while.
I'll be honest with you. The one thing that really, I don't even like talking about because I know who it's somebody I know. He spoke about a dead baby, and I don't even know if it's true. But should I talk about it because it's freaking pretty.
Well, you started now.
All right, so I don't want to say the person's name, but I know somebody that he knows. He's somebody that he knows, and he was having a baby, and I haven't spoken to him for quite a long long time. So I don't know if he's had the baby yet. Yeah, I just assumed he did have the baby, not a man, but his wife. And now he said that the baby's dead, and he was the cause of the baby's death. So if the baby truly is dead, then that is really sick. And even if the baby isn't dead, then it's still sick in the sense that he's using a baby that way. And that was kind of like for me when I thought, all right, I think he's really lost the plot, and I have to completely disconnect now, totally, because I know the thing is the person he's talking about I actually know.
Oh, I see. And the thing is, so he's not really thinking twice about people's feelings, people's experiences. He's just solely focused on what he wants to do and he wants to achieve. So yeah, that is a bit odd because an overly kind person wouldn't want to say those things.
All right, let me just say something to Full Fields. Full Fields, Fees, whatever your freaking stupid name is. Raj and Manny, you supported Tan, and now are starting to realize you're foolishness. Shut up, you gutter-dwelling turd, idiot!
I still support free speech. All of his house.
I supported free speech, idiot. Go back to the third world, you garbage. I was about to say something really rude, then I better not say it. I'm not Manny Sinder thingy, so.
Let's get Betty's thoughts on what Tan said about the baby sitch.
I think if the baby's dead and stuff, I think it's really sick. I think
really, really, really sick.
I think it's disgusting to tell it on the street. But
again, we should read the speech if he publishes the text, so we can verify what context he said everything in.
Yeah, if you have a transcript of the speech and stuff like that. But yeah, I just don't think he cares. I think he's just in his own little world. He doesn't seem to care. He's just like a performing monkey. An attention seeker, and people crowd round him. I think if people stop following him, he'd give up. I think he's just after attention.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like wants to. I think his aim is to alienate and offend as many people as possible, and even people that have supported him. Because the person he's talking about is a long-term supporter. Yeah. So the person he says that the baby's died, I don't even know if it's true, but it doesn't matter. I know that person. It was when last time I spoke to them, they said that his wife was about to give birth. So if the baby is really dead, then that's absolutely sick. And if the baby is alive, using the baby in that sense is sick as well. So it doesn't really matter either way. But yeah, I think he's trying to push as many buttons as possible, and he doesn't care what people think.
Odd behavior.
Do you know whether, because James has texted me and he said, have you given him a link to the thingy because he wants to come on?
Which James?
James, James, the one, your twin, the white version of you.
So why
the white rapper that we had on yesterday.
The white rap connoisseur. He knows everything about freaking rap for some reason. Yeah, he's
coming on.
Is he
wants
coming
to come on? I hope he comes on.
Is he in the thingy? Is he in the thing?
I'm just a bit upset he didn't message me.
We need to
Is it James? Is it James O? Is that him? I don't know if that's
We've got a new track now. We've wrote the title of the track is Troll Track. What did we call it? I think it was called Troll Track Volume 1.
Oh, we need to have all of our little tracks in there. Oh, that's not him then. That's not him. But he did text me saying that I don't want to say he's saying that something happened. I'll need to wait till he gets on though. So
am I inviting the James that looks like me?
Yeah. Invite him. Yeah. And where's Hassan? Hassan ain't picking his phone up. So I need to figure out where the hell he's gone. I didn't see him listening to the speech either. Maybe he got separated from him. But yeah, it's very sad to see Tan go in this real disgusting way. Obviously, we loved it when he was an Islamophobe. That was amazing. But now he's turned into a lunatic on everyone else. I think it's gone a bit too far now. So look.
Do you think he'll come back next week?
Yeah, he probably will. He's not banned from the park, is he?
It's a lot of police resources, isn't it? Though,
Yeah, but I think that's what he kind of wants to show, that maybe he wants the park closed down. Maybe that's his ultimate goal.
Yeah, maybe. You never know. But
Yeah,
I saw, but the girls that the girls that got hurt last time, they were back again. They were brave enough to come back again. That Louise,
yeah.
the one that was pulling Jedi's hair, the one that everyone claimed that assaulted him. You didn't see. I just think it's nonsense.
Romy Tomlinson is saying that Tan said that if black people want him to stop using the N-word, then they themselves should stop using it. Is that a fair comment, Betty?
He can do it. Tan can say whatever he wants. It's a free country and it's free speech. That doesn't mean that all black people are going to listen to him.
No, but he didn't say that anymore. That's what he said in the first speech. But the speeches that have come after have been racially charged. So if I said, "Oh, I believe that black people shouldn't say the N-word because of this," that is a fair point. But he's not saying that anymore. That's what he said in the first speech. The one he done today was just ripping into Jedi, ripping into these people, ripping into black people.
What did he say? What did he say about Jedi, my favorite convict in the park?
He called him N-word, obviously, and I think he called him
again.
Yeah, and I think he called him a gorilla or something. I can't remember exactly what.
Oh no!
I need to find out. So I wouldn't laugh at that, to be honest. I know you hate him, but the thing is,
no, I can't say anything because I call him King Kong anyway. So there's no point me.
I'm just trying to help you. They're gonna use that against you.
They use it against me anyway. I don't care what they think.
I know.
They don't pay my bills.
I know. He called him.
He should stop acting like a fuck then, isn't it? If you act like an animal, you'll be called an animal, wouldn't you? You'll be treated like one. He should stop acting like a fuck. Why are people saying that he's stopping people from filming and being aggressive? Jedi digged his own hole. He digged his own grave. He should check his behaviour.
Let's get back onto Tan before we get in trouble. So the thing is that I think it went out with a whimper. If I'm being honest with you, like the way he got escorted out was, I think to be honest, I don't want to brag, but I think my escorting out is still the best. Don't you think?
Huh? Yeah. Yours had more punch to it. Yeah.
Mine is like they'll say, "We hate Raj, we hate Raj." So I was actually getting a bit jealous that he might beat me on that. I'm actually quite good at went out with a whimper. They just took him out straight away. There were so many. I've never seen that many police there though.
Yeah, I think they were really worried about the far right and stuff.
They didn't really turn up. I was hearing all these rumors that all these far right people were coming, like, and Inspired Jesus. Oh my God, Inspired Jesus, please. You're starting to become a Jesus freak. I don't mind you preaching, but he's gone from being this quite nice young boy to suddenly going on about Jesus all day and Christianity. You're turning into one of those kind of Ali Diva people, but a Christian version. Yeah, so it's a little bit weird. I don't know what's happened to that boy. I think the mental strain of all this stuff has got to him. He's gone a little bit, it turned into religious zealot. Let me try and call Hassan. Let's see what
I keep seeing this word shook, SHOOK. Is
Shook.
that kind of street slang or something?
No, it's just a new drink.
It's not, is it? I can see how Hardy Finn has typed it. What does that mean, Betty? He's not going to tell me correctly. Shook.
I don't know. I'm not street enough.
When you're frightened. Yeah, how long are you?
Oh, why not just say shocked?
What do you mean shook? Oh, I know what you mean.
Wow. Hurry up, because we want to hear what you're going to say.
Yeah, why don't you mute yourself, Raj?
So it means, they're saying it means scared.
He's already up. We're waiting for you.
Oh, God, Raj, shush.
All right, hurry up then. Yeah, hurry up. All right, that's it. Yeah, all right, bye.
Did Hassan go to the park today?
Yeah, I've just spoken to him now. He's not going to be able to get onto the show until 45-50 minutes. Is that a problem?
Oh, that's fine. Because if he was in the park, he was in the park.
No, but it's got here 8 to 10 o'clock, or is that kind of like we can go over that? Can we? Can go over?
You can go slightly over it, yeah.
11 o'clock max, or 10:30.
Max.
11.
Max.
All right, yeah, that's cool because I don't want to go too long anyway. So he's should be on there. We can talk to him at the end of the show. But yeah, I was pretty.
Oh, Rob from Speaker's Corner wants to come on. I can see him chatting in the chat room.
If he wants to come on, give him a little link then.
Somebody just sent me this explanation.
What?
It's shook. Like man is shook in it. He's scared. He's frightened.
I said that.
He's shook.
I said that. And the thing is, yeah, next week I'm coming back to the park. Now it's my turn. So I can't wait. I ain't paying that bullshit, Jizzy. You're mad. So obviously, Cam's gone now. It's going to be me. So I'll be there next week anyway. Are you going next week?
Speaker's Corner skit saying he knows what the big secret Saeed wanted to say. Tell it or not, Manny. Tell it, mate. Tell it, please.
They've already said it 50,000 times. How can it be a secret if it's already out and everybody knows? We don't care. I don't care if Manny could be some freaking serial killer. As long as he annoys the Muslims, I'm with him. Sorry, Manny.
Okay.
So he's not really a serial killer, but we don't care. The reason why to them is such a big thing is because they like to chuck gays off buildings. If someone was a tranny in their group, they'd freaking will probably ostracize them. We don't care if Manny was a tranny or he was doing whatever. We don't care. So release it now, because it doesn't make no difference to us. For God's sakes. Now, if Muhammad Hijab was gay and was standing on the shard waiting to be chucked off the building under Sharia justice, then that would be something different, wouldn't it? Because under Islam, being homosexual is punishable by death. We don't care about stuff like that. I don't care. So you can say whatever you want. Sorry, and that's just what they're saying. I'm not saying that you are, though. I wouldn't care if you was. It doesn't really. I don't have no issue with that. All right, so they're making. You know the amount of rumors that got done. You know the thing about Saeed Ali Diva's little prostitute is that his particular worldview is so skewed that they find me. Do you know my eyelashes doing hey dad as being offensive, but a woman being punched in the face is okay. This is how mentally retarded these people are from the freaking inbreeding in generations of generations. How can you deal with someone like that? All right, I've had my rant now. Go on, Betty, you talk now. Put a feminine touch to the show.
Can't, because everyone keeps calling me a tranny.
All right. Manny's now the tranny, so you can just you can leave it.
Don't, Betty. We know.
Yeah, you know what? You know, because people do talk about shit, don't they? They gossip and just start all these rumors.
Small things, small minds.
Look, this is what they do, yeah. What they do is they find something that annoys you and they'll use 100 insults, but then they will react to the one that you reacted to. That's why when people call me a pigeon, I go, yes, I am a pigeon. Now what? What do you want me to do? At least I'm not like Ali.
Yeah, that's true.
At least I'm not. At least I'm not like Ali Diva's little prostitute, Saeed, who wants to be a model but he's actually been signed up by the Third World Model Agency. Yeah, and what he models is turds. Yeah, have you seen that little Saeed on his freaking car, trying to look like a model, plucking his eyebrows? He spends hours on his hair. But if your face looks like shit, it doesn't matter. Just give up. Do you agree?
I like Saeed. I enjoy watching
what I'm saying to you, if your face looks like shit, like Saeed, but you spend hundreds of pounds here trying to look good in a nice hair, it doesn't make no difference. Just let it go. Just forget about it. You look like a turd.
But you know what? I quite like I like the way he cuts his hair, and I like the way he wears his sunglasses. And you know, when he wears that polo neck, don't you think it's dead 70s reminiscent?
Oh my God,
the 70s mafia. You know, like the Italian style. Sorry, I'm a little fashioned.
When you look at him, yeah, all he looks like is a giant piece of shit.
No, he doesn't.
He does. Take the glasses off, and his face looks like something out of Frankenstein. He doesn't look nice. That's why he wears the glasses.
No, he looks.
His glasses are so big, it covers half his face for a reason. Because his face looks like shit.
No, he doesn't look like shit. Honestly, I really like his sense of style.
Oh
You know what
my
it is? It's
God.
nice to see a man groom himself because a lot of men don't know how to groom
Betty,
themselves.
you've really gone down in my estimations, for God's sake.
So,
How can
do you-
How can you think that turd of a man is fashionable?
Because but don't you think it's unusual nowadays to see a man with a jacket and as well as a polo neck? Does everybody remember the polo neck? Think of the Mafia, or was it those movies in the 70s with Al Pacino, and he had the polo neck, and then you got the blazer. And
Let
then
me
you got
say
the
something. Let me
glasses,
say
and
something,
it's just
Betty.
like-
Let me say something to you, Betty. You are used to these Islamic Dawa teams, yeah, just talking shit about it. So anybody that makes any effort, like Ali Diva's little prostitute, looks good to you compared to like the rest of them, like Dawa man and all those.
No, because if you look at some of the men in the park, they just wear like tracksuits, don't they? And if you see a man take care of himself and just put some style
What's the point
into
of
it.
him taking care of himself? He's a retard.
what, like plucking eyebrows, Bessie?
Yeah, but just the style, taking care of yourself. Because even like you,
Oh
Raj,
my
when you wear
God.
that nice little shirt when you got the gold trim.
Yeah, I
And
know,
that-
but
yeah,
that's-
that looks-
I know, but the thing is, I don't walk around like pouting my lips, thinking I'm a model. I know I look like a turd. He thinks he looks like freaking Brad Pitt, the gutter dwelling turd.
But he
So
has to put he puts lip gloss on because he's got dry lips.
this is the difference here. I know I'm not some oil painting. He thinks he looks like Brad Pitt. So when he's looking in the mirror, he sees an amazing model. In reality, it's like Zoolander. Yeah, you just seen Zoolander with the pouting and doing the blue steel and all that kind of bullshit. Even his own Muslim brothers are sick of his freaking delusion of grandeur. He thinks he's a freaking like a model. He can only be in a third world model agency. That's it.
No, it's not. It's just because you're beefing with him.
It's nothing to do with beefing. I always thought he was a freaking gutter dwelling prick. He the first time I saw him. It had nothing to do with it. I'd hate him no matter what, but I hate him more now than I ever do. Obviously, because he's.
I think everybody, a lot of people don't like the fact that he likes to take care of himself. Some men are like that, because at the end of the day,
What I'm trying to say to you is like having a piece of shit, yeah, and then putting some little kind of little decorations around it. That is Saeed.
You can't.
Saeed is a piece of turd, and you're putting a little bit of decoration around it. So he's spending thousands of pounds on his hair, thousands of pounds on lip gloss. It doesn't make no difference.
No, but because he's trying to get a wife. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to get a wife, you can't have that.
Well, he can marry his cousin, for God's sakes.
But he doesn't want dry lips. Because imagine kissing.
But he can marry his cousin. His cousin. He's got someone already. So let's get off that little gutter dwelling turd.
Okay, let's change the subject.
But
I do think that polo neck and that shirt is just really nice. I think it's really fashionable. And the glasses, it's just dead stylish.
All right, you know what you need to do is you need to marry him, yeah, and start wearing a niqab. Yeah?
She's trolling you, Raj.
Oh, is she trolling me? I don't know if she is.
Of course she is.
Was you trolling me?
Was
you trolling me?
No, I was just generally admiring his sense of fashion.
I don't know.
I do, because a lot of men don't take care of themselves nowadays.
Trolling.
Some of them not really.
Oh, let's get away from this freaking nutcase. TNT.
Well
TNT
done,
Greeks
Betty.
in the house.
You even had me going for a while. That was funny.
Oh, do you? Yeah, I thought, why? I don't know. I'm going to have to speak to you afterwards because I think you're a bit mate. I think because I'm so agitated with that freaking guy, that little prick. TNT Greeks is in the house. Has he got any gossip?
Oh, can I just say, if my mic is muted, that means I'm away, so I'll be coming in and out. You guys can carry on.
All right, let's talk about Abu Talha, the famine victim, because I heard his voice there, but I couldn't see him because he was so thin. So, was he there? Hello? What's happened now? Now freaking everything's gone dead.
I don't know. I didn't see. You mean in the videos? I didn't see him in any videos.
Yeah, no, I heard his voice, and
Oh,
he's in
yeah,
the background, like doing his jihadi talk. Like, we're gonna get you out the park. You have to pay that bullshit jizya. And
He's
all that
mad,
kind of
isn't he?
rubbish.
He's very upset with us.
Who
He's very
cares?
upset.
Let him go back to his graveyard that he was born in.
Oh no! Oh no! He's gonna be very upset with
I
you.
don't care. I don't care. They have no problems here with talking about violence. But when you say he looks like a freaking famine victim, I'm the worst person in the world. But they don't mind them putting plans out to kidnap me.
I know the hypocrisy of it. There's the hypocrisy of it.
But the thing is that he's not always there because people can't see him because he's actually replaced Rajeev's black stick. Yeah. So whenever you see Rajeev now, it is actually Abu Talha.
Oh no, that's gonna get you in a lot of trouble now. That's gonna get you.
He's a stick.
They'll just accuse you of being racist.
Oh my God!
Just wait.
They accuse me of being racist because I called him a freaking famine victim. How is that racist?
It's just because the association with Somalia being
from famine. Yeah, but that is racist in itself because you're saying the only people that can be famine victims are black people or people that are minorities. Isn't that racist?
No, white people can be think.
White people can be in famines. There was a freaking Irish famine just a little, how many years ago?
Yeah, there was actually the potato famine.
But I just wanted to say to Abu Talha, eat. Sorry, can you say that as well? You say it as
yeah. Abu does need to have something to eat. To be honest, he's very thin, isn't he? Maybe I don't know if it's natural, but he's very thin.
No, but the worst thing is he's actually gone more thin from before.
He needs to have plump like chicken, and he's plumping up.
Why don't you marry him and fatten him up a bit?
He's too young for me. He's not speaking to me. He banned me from his live stream.
You can have him as like a little pet project.
A pet project.
Yeah, fatten him up. See how long it takes. But the only thing is, that I was going to say something really bad. I better not say it.
No, don't say it. You know the Somalis is 10 man strong.
No. I was gonna say something a bit bad, but then it gets you in the situation as well. So I better not say. I'll just say that nothing about you, but Abu Talha Wiener is like a little pencil. So let's get off Abu Talha. Let's talk about Tan because I was very disappointed in Tan today.
Why?
Because the problem is, look, this is the problem. Yeah, people only know Tan through the screen.
Yeah,
and I still knew this Tan that before he went to America. France. I think he was actually quite a nice dude to talk to be honest. Yeah. Although he was crazy in the park, and I know people are going to say, "Oh, you only liked him because he was bashing Islam."
Yeah,
that's true. I did like him when he was bashing Islam because you guys needed it at that point. Because you were the bullies of the park.
Okay.
But when he's come back, he's just turned into some freaking some Nazi. It's just very weird.
I don't know. I always thought he was just a puppet of the far right and an agent provocateur. But just simply because of what I said, how could a Chinese person be so worried about black problems and other problems when you're from Malaysia? You don't have enough black people to get that type of reference and be so concerned with it. And then when you look at the people he was hanging around with, then I thought, we got Britain First. And then the Britain First guy used to be part of the National Front. So the people he's mixing with, that Paul... What's his name?
Golding. But they rejected him.
But he was part of the national. He already was part of the National Front. So the people that Tan is hanging around with, they say you're known by the company you keep. So that's why, for me, that's why I thought there's something not right with this Tan guy. But at the end of the day, you thought he was a good person, and there's nothing wrong with changing your opinion, Raj. It's not a crime to have faith in someone.
Let me rephrase something. I'm not saying he was a good person in a sense that you could talk to him and he'd be kind of someone that would give you good advice and be a friend like that. I'm just saying he was still someone with some kind of morals, but now when you'd sit with him by himself, he still had this kind of I don't know, it's weird. It's hard to explain because if you don't sit with him, he's a very strange character. He's very quiet in real life.
Yeah.
But now when he's come back, I could just feel the kind of anger and the hate, and it's gone to another level. And what he's saying is full on. If you're criticizing an ideology, it's an ideology. So, you can change that ideology if you really want to. But when it comes to race, you can't change your race. Let's not get into that topic. Remember yesterday. Everyone made me out to be a freaking Nazi sympathizer or something. Let's not go on to that race thing because it done my head in. I listened to it back, and I still think I was the only one making sense, and everyone's making out as if I was Heinrich Himmler's bodyguard or something.
Don't be weird. Don't be weird. We We can agree to disagree, but as friends, we can agree to disagree. We don't all have to be clones of one another. It's just
Yeah, I know. But he actually has become like some kind of Nazi. Like that symbol he has on his face. You know, I always said it was a, you know, it's the swastika. The swastika was an Indian symbol.
I thought it was like an Asian. I thought it was that Asian one that the other way round.
Yeah, it is. But he's talking like a Nazi now. He's actually talking like a Nazi. He's giving like the way he was talking about. I can't remember. I didn't even listen to the thing twice. I listened to it once.
Yeah.
But once he said about the baby thing, I was just like, nah, I can't be dealing with that kind of stuff. I don't want to hear about that. It's just too below the belt. But let me read some of these comments. He wanted to support from the disgruntled. What about the anger and hate from gangs and the Muslims for the UK? Yeah, what bit of Angela Murnahan is asking a pretty loaded question. Shall we answer it?
Yeah, go on.
What about the anger and hate from gang and the Muslims for the UK?
Gang in terms of, I think if you look at gang and who they're mainly made up of British black men. So their experiences that they're talking about, the anger they're talking about, for one, quite a few of them come from broken homes. You know, for second, they've been in the criminal justice system. Secondly, many young black teenage boys get pulled up by the police for no reason. You know, and it creates an anger when the police are there to possibly protect you. It does create an anger, and it's different for black women because we don't get pulled up by the police randomly. And I think that's the problem. You know, they're not able to articulate what they dislike about the system as much as because some black men who grow up in those deprived neighborhoods don't become gangsters. And know how to deal with the anger and stuff like that. But for some, they fall through the cracks. And that's what you're seeing with gang.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have an issue with who's playing this?
Manny is.
Oh, Manny, all right. He's playing. Hold on. He's playing when someone. This guy isn't Abu Talha. I know he looks like a famine victim as well. He's another famine victim, number 2. But that's somebody else at the park. Every time I walk past this, is it Abu Talha? It could be Abu Talha, actually.
Looks like
it is Abu Talha.
No, I don't think it is. Is that Abu?
There's another guy that always says to me, Raj, clean up the shit on the floor. And this looks like him, but whether it is, let me just double check. I think he's trying to trick people into, because remember I said I heard his voice, but I couldn't see him. Maybe that reason I couldn't see him isn't because he's so thin, but because he was in disguise. So I think that is Abu Talha. Let me watch the video because we'll see who's, because you can't steal people's property. That is a crime. Yeah, so they're stolen it, taking it.
So someone took the.
Yeah, they're taking it. So, like, it's stupid. Like,
yeah.
I mean, what could they be charged with that? Do you know, Manny? Can we get him charged with that?
Yeah, it's still a criminal offence whether they took it or not.
All right, we better get him charged. I really want Abu Talha to go to prison, and I admit that. He needs to be in jail getting bummed every day. Allegedly, he stole the stuff. Let's just make sure we say that. That's slander. It's not slander. It looks like Abu Talha. It could be him or this other guy that I know from the park, but I can't imagine another guy doing that. He's running out of breath. Let's have a look. When is little James coming on? The little white devil. Let's see when he's coming on. Yeah, so can I ask you a question, Betty? Hello? Sure. Yeah, what is your, because a lot of people call me an Uncle Tom, and they call Manny an Uncle Tom because we don't hate the UK.
Yeah.
It's like, why? I mean, obviously we have our history, but I've history with other countries as well, and I don't hate, I mean, obviously, you know, with the Turks, the Arabs, the Afghans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't expect me to hate them, but when it seems like they expect me to hate the UK. What is your kind of stance on the UK? Because you're Nigerian. Because I'm not sure what the history is with Nigeria and the Brits.
Well, Nigeria was a protectorate. It's not a protectorate. Is not a colony.
Right.
It's more like a business administration territory. So basically, the indigenous population still have control over a lot of things. But in terms of what do I think? Because, you know, like for a lot of people of colour, they think that you're either where your parents are from, or and you can't be British at the same time. But I see myself as British and Nigerian. I think it's silly just to pretend that I'm one or the other. Do you see what I mean? It is what it is. Whatever happened, happened. You know. Am I happy about the way we became British? And no, I'm not happy about the British Empire. They committed a lot of atrocities, but it is what it is. I have to take what the good out of it. Because at the end of the day, the way I see it is my forebears fought the British to get them off the land and stuff like that. But obviously, we lost the fight. So, we've embraced Western education. We just make the most of it, because a lot of my family in Africa can't even get an education. They can't afford it. Do you know what I mean? So it would be stupid to throw it away. Like my granddad gave a plot of land to just start school in the village. So for me, it's just like, it doesn't make sense. And also, like, one of my granddads was an orphan, and the missionaries looked after him and trained him to be a teacher. So for me, not all of the colonization was bad. Obviously, the British committed a lot of atrocities, but there's still good people in, colonization. They weren't all bad.
Well, the thing is that, there gets a point. If the British aren't going around saying, oh, the colonies were the best thing in the world. Most British people you speak to are kind of like very kind of what I call kind of a little bit embarrassed about it, some of them. And so they've apologized. Like there are Islamic conquests of India from different countries that, including the Turks and all of that they've never apologized. In fact, they say it never even happened. So at least the Brits have taken what I call responsibility for past actions and said, sorry, I can deal with that. But if we're living in the UK,
I don't know if they said sorry, though. I think that's debatable. I don't know if they've actually said, because in Africa, they might have said sorry to Asia, but in terms of Africa, I don't think they've actually ever apologised, and they've not paid reparations. If you look at the Caribbean countries, right now, for about 14 to 15 are taking Britain to court for reparations due to slavery. So this idea that Britain said sorry to Africa, it might have done it to Asia, but it's not said it to Africa.
I'm not saying in terms of a literal, oh, we are sorry. I'm talking about in terms of when you watch. I mean, if you watch a program about colonialism, it's never really what I call very. It's quite almost apologetic in its tone always, and that's one thing. And the thing is, one thing I'm kind of really troubled about is this hatred for the UK. And I'm like, if you're living here, how can you hate the place and live here? Because what's going to happen is that you then will not have any loyalties to the UK, and you would want to destroy it from within. And I speak to a lot of people that really hate the UK, and I think that's very problematic. And if you hate the UK, then, I think if you hate the UK, then leave. Why are you here? Like, unless you're only here to make trouble and to cause issues.
No, but I think what you got to remember, some of these people can't leave because they're terrorists and they've had the passport taken off them. The other people don't have enough money. And where they're going to leave to, some of the countries are already, their land of their forebearers is in a mess. So they've got nowhere to leave to. Do you see what I mean?
We got Rob in the house. How you doing, Rob?
Hey, folks. How you doing?
I'm okay. You still abroad, or you back in the UK?
No, I'm coming back tomorrow.
Oh, you're coming back tomorrow. All right. So did you manage to see the speech or hear the speech?
Bits and pieces in my ear while I was busy doing other stuff, so I didn't see it physically. I heard some of it. It was hard to hear.
All right.
But I did see every now and again. I could see there was a row of police around there, but I didn't really hear the speech very clearly.
Right.
And I'm guessing, although I didn't, as I say, hear it clearly, that it wasn't sort of a rousing speech in that case. As I've heard Tan's speeches before, they're sort of more. They don't have a lot of substance there. There's just stuff to kind of, quote unquote, inflame people. But maybe I'm wrong. I didn't, as I say, hear this one entirely.
Yeah, it was pretty boring, if I'm being honest with you. I was actually nodding off halfway through. I've heard most of it before, but I just thought it was very gratuitous in some areas. He spoke about someone's dead baby, and I'm not sure if that's true or not, because I know the person. I need to contact them to double check. So I just thought and he said the N-word a lot and was, belittling black people through it. So yeah, I wasn't very.
Did he have to be escorted out again?
Yeah, he was escorted out again. Yeah, but there was no real. It wasn't as bad as last time where you had kind of people following. The police had realised what they did. They cornered the the crowd off, so they couldn't follow him, and they just escorted him out of the place. But there was so many police there today. I think it looked like there was probably like 20 policemen there. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, and there was a video the other day where the fella that threatened you, he got marched out. I saw a video with him being marched out. I think that's the sort of longer term goal, and that's what the police should be focusing on. Anybody that makes a violent threat, you're out. If you do it twice, you're banned for X number of times. So you get rid of these people, and you make it very clear. If you incite violence, hey, I'm going to hit you, or Raj, say this or that, and I'm going to hit you. They don't use that word. We're going to have words as if they've got the intellectual capability to actually say anything more than a few incoherent sentences. So it's clearly not going to be words, because they don't have the ability to do that. So it's more a case. I think it's very clear that and because these are, let's just say, they're not the brightest people in town, and so what they lack between the ears, they try to make up for in physical violence. And so it's very clear. So those are the people they need to be getting rid of. And anybody that did whatever, I don't know if anybody attack Tan or hit him or push him or
they stole his iPad.
Oh, right, okay.
That's when they stopped the whole thing. So somebody
did
grabbed
they get it
the
back
iPad.
again, or
no? I don't think so. I think we know who took it. It was Abu Talha, that little famine victim. So it's, I mean, that's when it started kicking off. So somebody grabbed it and they ran off with it. So I don't know whether that's a criminal offence, I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course, it's theft.
He's stolen it, and I don't know if we've got it back. So whether the police are going to do anything about it.
Well, whether you get it back or not, it's still theft. Whether you recover stolen property or whether that property isn't recovered, theft is theft. That doesn't make any difference, and that should obviously be taken further, no matter who's doing it to anybody else, and that person should. But again, I think the courts and the justice system are very lenient with that sort of thing, because you really should get a criminal offence. It's not like stealing a sweet or bread because you're battling to survive. This was clear in front of all the cameras, and that should carry, because, well, if not a custodial sentence, certainly a criminal conviction, I would suggest. Theft is theft, isn't it?
Well, I've made my place clear now. I've totally cut myself off from Tan.
But what about the fact that he keeps coming, like the fact that he couldn't keep using the word nigger? And I don't understand why he's allowed to keep on doing that. I know the policeman said before it was due to the fact that there wasn't enough black people complaining about the last time he did it. The police guy said there was only one black person that complained about the first speech that Tan made. That is why he was able to do it. But he's back again.
Mm-hmm. So, Betty, do you think that he should not be allowed to say it in the bastion of free speech zone?
No, I think it's offensive. It's the only racial slur that he's using, and so I don't think he should be able to say it. And all that.
So, is that the only word that you would restrict, or is there other words?
He shouldn't be able to say that word the way he's saying it. He shouldn't be able to say it.
Is there another way he could say it? Could he say it? Could he say it in another way?
No.
Is it just
because it's a racial slur, and he says it with venom.
Okay, but if he wasn't, if he was now,
why should one Chinese man be able to cause so much disruption and use so much police resources?
I mean, at the risk of repeating myself on this hangout, as I have done many times, he's not causing it. Other people are choosing to feel offended, and so he's not causing anything. He's using a word. People are then taking a meaning, because let's face it, Becky, not every black person does that, do they?
Not all black people do it, but the fact of the matter is he's done it again. The only racial slur that he's using, apart from the racial slurs that he used towards his own people, is that word.
Well, he's done quote unquote slurs, if you like to call it that, against Muslims, and he's attempted to do that for other groups. What slurs has he used
towards Muslims? What slurs are you used to?
Whatever he says about Muhammad that they take offense to, dropping the Quran, all that sort of stuff. They take as much offense as some black people choose to feel about, the word nigger. And so, now I'm using it there as a description, as opposed to prescription. So are you saying in your world that it should never be used? We should ban that word from being uttered by anybody, or is it only by non-Africans, or what? What's your view on that?
I don't think he should be able to use it. In the ideal world, nobody would be using that word, because the word was used as an insult to degrade and dehumanize black people.
Okay, but it's not due
to But due to American imperialism and the cultural influence of America, it's now being used.
Okay, but as far as I can tell, nobody that's certainly not any young people living today have that, so they've taken on it. So you've given this word a power over you and other black people. So you are now you are being controlled by this. Do you realize that?
When you say about no, hang on here, Rob. The person, what you're doing is victim blaming, because the black people did not create that word. That
are you a victim?
Word is a root in Latin. No, Rob. That word, there's no African language that has that word. That word is rooted in Latin. It basically means black. That is the origin of that word. So it's nothing to do with black people. It's what white people in Europe called black people. Yeah. And it was used as an insult to dehumanize black people in America.
What is the word
due to American colonization, it's spread due to African American music.
200 years ago, right? A couple hundred years ago, right?
You're not talking to a couple of 200 years ago. When did slavery finish? And then after that, that word was still being used in America through the Jim Crow rules and Jim Crow laws.
Do you not think, though, Betty, that if yourself and other people didn't give it any power, they ignored it, they went on with it, and you had a different belief in your head around this word, it wouldn't have any power, and therefore it would go out of use, or to whatever degree?
No, because what you're doing is blaming the victim. We didn't create the word in the first place.
But who's the victim, though? You're not a victim personally, are you?
Yeah, yes, the people, everybody all the black people. That word was used to dehumanize black people. No, why are you not blaming the people that created the word in the first place? Why are you blaming the black people who were dehumanized with it? Okay, because there's no African language that has that word. You're blaming black people for a word that they never created. When are you going to let the white people who created that word to dehumanize black people take some responsibility?
Do you want me to respond, or let me know?
Yes, respond.
When you're ready.
Respond.
Okay. So people will create words all the time. And the power is in how the other person, whoever the other person may be, chooses to take the meaning of a word. So you've taken this meaning, you've held it on, and you've kept it up, as unfortunately some other people have, but not all people have. Some black people have got past this. It doesn't affect them anymore. And that's so why are you holding on to it? Because it's like I'm saying, let's say that these were terrible people that created this word. We could say that about any other word that anybody chooses to feel offended by. Nazi. There's people walking around today that call white people Nazi. Now, how many actual Nazis are there? Very few. Now, those people could have exactly the same argument as you that goes, hey, I'm not a Nazi. I don't believe in the Nazi party. I'm not like that. How dare you call me a Nazi? So somebody could do the same thing there. Or what we could do is go, hey, this word has got a meaning, and I choose not to attach that meaning to me personally, and I don't allow that word to have any power over me. At the moment, you are allowing this word to have power over you. You want to ban it, and then we could do the same with any other word that anybody chooses to feel offended by. So
no, people, Rob, when you're ready to take responsibility for what that word was created for, what you're doing is not allowing the people that created that word that was used to dehumanize black people to take no responsibility. And you're saying that it's the black people that are the problem.
I'm not saying,
but they're not the problem.
Betty,
no, one moment, Rob, because I was talking. I was talking. Yeah, no, that's what you're doing. Yeah, I'm a black person. So you're not going to tell me how I feel as a black person. Yeah, the fact of the matter is there is no African language that has that word in it. It was rooted in a European language, and that word was used to dehumanize people of African descent in the Americas. Okay, and due to American colonization, it has spread.
It's only spread because people still have that meaning. Who uses that today to dehumanize?
What do you mean it's only spread? Who spread the word? Who owns the record companies that spread that word?
You mean the record companies where the black rap artists are using that word in every song? Is that the one?
Yes. So who owns the record company, Rob?
There's some black owners, there's some white owners, there's some Asian
white people owners. Was it owned by black people?
It's owned by Asians, whites, and blacks. So what now?
No.
Do they need to take responsibility?
The head of these companies are normally white.
They're not all white, are they?
No, they might be Japanese, but most of the companies, you won't find a black owner because black people don't own anything. No, they don't. No, they don't. They always have the parent company that is a white company. Yeah?
Well, as long as you, and I am going to point this out to you, as long as you choose to be a victim, you personally are not a victim, as long as you choose to be a martyr and a victim for people 200 years ago, this word will have power over you.
It's
And
not
if you want to
200
choose
years
to
ago,
allow the
Rob.
word to have power over you, allow the word to have power over you. I
It's
don't
not
believe that it should
200
be
years
banned.
ago, Rob.
And so,
It's
100
not
years ago,
200
Becky,
years ago.
100 years ago, you were not
No,
alive.
it's not,
Okay,
Rob.
so
In
don't
America, that
hang on to
word
this
has
anymore.
been used ever since the end of slavery. So you're telling me that white people in America weren't calling black people niggers in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s? Is that what you're telling me? That's not 200 years ago. That's
Did
not
I say
100
that?
years ago.
Those are the words. Did I even imply that?
You said a 200 years ago, this thing that happened 200 years ago, where
Well, it
this word
started 200 years
created.
ago, didn't it? Whenever it
No,
was
but it's
created.
not finished. It's not finished 200
It's
years ago,
only
was
not
it?
finished
It's
because you
continued.
allow it not to be finished.
No, it's not, Rob.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
Rob, but no. We're going to have to
I'm
agree
sorry
to
too.
disagree on this
We will.
because
You're
that's a
wrong.
complete ignorance.
And you're allowing yourself to be a victim along with
Yeah, you
Russ
said,
Dirks and other
and
people.
what you're doing is allowing the people that created this word to take no responsibility.
No problem, Betty. I'll go dig them up out of their grave and beat their bones up and tell them they were naughty
okay,
people.
Rob.
Come
okay.
on.
No,
Think
Rob,
about it.
don't be so. You're sounding like a white supremacist right now. You sound like
Wow,
a
you
very
can choose to
racist
feel
person.
whatever you want.
You sound like a typical white supremacist from South Africa. That's what you're sounding like.
Come on,
You're
don't.
sounding
That's okay. I don't
very
choose to take
ignorant and
offense because
racist.
that's an unsubstantiated claim.
Yeah,
But
no,
of
but
course,
that's what
once
you're
you push
sounding
against
like,
the
Rob.
wall and your emotions
Because at
come
the
up,
end
then
of
you
the
get a
day,
little bit
we
more
all know. Tell
feisty.
me an African language that has that word. Tell me the African language that created that word, Rob.
That's got
You
nothing to
can't
do
tell
with
it.
it.
Yes, it has.
No, Betty.
Yes, it has. Because
All
who
right, you keep
created the
believing
word?
that. You keep believing that.
Who created the word, Rob?
Hold on, Betty. Can I just intervene? I think we're going down a rabbit hole that we don't want to go down. I think you to call. Look, let me just say something. I don't like people calling other people racist without there being real hard proof.
No, Raj.
I know.
If I believe he's a racist, I can do that. You don't have to
It's an
agree with
emotional
it.
response.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
don't have to agree with it, but I believe he's a racist.
I know, but
It's emotional response. It's got no evidence.
I'm just
I
trying to
choose to take offense.
I'm just saying to the viewers, like, Betty, you have your opinion. I personally have met Rob, and I don't feel he's racist. So,
well, she's not going to accept your opinion,
I know, but I'm just trying to give a more nuanced view because for the viewers listening, obviously, as an Asian person, I have my own kind of like viewpoints about certain things, and I haven't seen Rob be racist or say anything racist that I seem to perceive to be. That's just my opinion, but Betty, you can have her opinion as well. Obviously, let's try and move off from this very controversial topic and try and get back.
Should we not talk about controversial topics, Raj? I mean, you are the king of controversy, aren't you?
No, we can talk about that, but let's get on to something.
I prefer if I don't mind somebody having an opinion. I care whether they think their opinion is true and have they got good reasons for it. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I'm obviously not going to take opinions seriously if they're completely unsubstantiated. And if it comes from a point of emotion because there's a victim mentality going on, then I'm going to have even less reason to take it seriously.
What I want to do, I think we can talk about this once we get more people. Like James is coming onto the panel. We're going to have Hassan onto the panel. Then we can go back to this topic later on. So we've got more of a kind of an eclectic viewpoint on it, rather than just yourself and Betty kind of speaking about it. So we can go back to it later on. I'm not going to shy away from it. But like I said, I think you should listen to the speech, Rob. I know it's going to be hard for you to listen to, but I think it's finally shown that Tanner's kind of lost the plot. I know people are going to probably say, "Oh, well, he lost it ages ago," but I think this is kind of concrete proof that he has kind of gone do that.
I might be down next Sunday if I can possibly get there. So if he is there, I want to ask him personally, what is the point of you coming down to Speaker's Corner? Is it just to push the boundaries of free speech? If that's the case, in my view, go ahead and say anything as long as you don't incite violence. If you're coming down there to say something factual or you want to have an intellectual discussion, then what you are saying is not in alignment with that goal. If you're just coming down here to waffle all kinds of words to try and rile people up, and that's your purpose, and you say to me, "Hey, Rob, I want to push this free speech boundaries because nobody else is doing it. I want to see what is possible in the UK." I'm going to say, fine, I accept your right to do it. I don't necessarily have to agree with the content. And that's what most people don't see the nuance or the distinction between. They just lump it all together because there's a lot of emotion. And as soon as you have emotion, intellect goes on holiday. And so you've got to be careful to be less emotional because as soon as emotion takes over, people stop thinking clearly. And so we need to distinguish between the two. And I'll if I get a chance, I'll ask him because, hopefully he'll speak to me or attempt to respond in some way or other. And then we know where we stand. And if he's coming down there, I can say, hey, I respect your right. You can call me a Nazi, white supremacist, whatever. I want evidence for that. Otherwise, I'll just dismiss it as an unsubstantiated claim. But other than that, what is the point of you doing it here? And if he babbles like he has done sometimes, then obviously I can't take him seriously. I'm not sure that I take him seriously at the moment, but I want to hear it from me asking him directly. Otherwise, it's through third parties and everybody's got their own interpretation, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully if I get a chance to come down and he is there next Sunday, then I'll ask him.
Just off topic, Rafa said made a good point. He's saying that the person that stole the iPad should have their hand cut off under Sharia. Yes.
Fortunately for the thief, we don't operate in that barbaric fashion. So
he's lucky he's not under through Sharia law. It was already been thingy. Another person, FFMM, says, funny you talk about Islam, but you don't ever have a Muslim on your panel. If I'm being honest, the Muslims that we've tried to get on the panel don't feel they can talk freely because of you nutcases that start calling them kuffars and stuff if they don't agree with your ideology in its kind of more orthodox fashion. So yeah, we can't get many Muslims on, and we don't want Muslims that go live who came in there last time because he's violent. He's threatened me, and so there's other people as well that threaten me, and we're not going to have violent people on there.
What do you mean he threatened you?
Well, he said he's going to come to the park and knock my turban off.
He didn't.
Yeah. I've got a screenshot. So he said he's going to come down. Now imagine if I said I'm going to go and knock a Muslims. I don't know what that thing they wear on their head. Imagine if I said that. Yeah. So imagine if I said that, the furore that would happen.
Yeah, but a lot of Muslims disown Go Live Media as a like radical fundamentalist. So they would say, hey, he's not really a Muslim. So that's how they kind of, and I suppose to some degree, the problem is that nobody knows what a true Muslim is. Everybody's got their own opinion. The only thing about Go Live is he seems to be consistent with a literal reading of the Quran, and some of his quote unquote opponents have got to go with a much more figurative, a much more elastic interpretation of their views, like Saracen and these other guys. They've got to, so he's more traditional. You could imagine him being with Muhammad back in the 7th century, where Saracen, you can't imagine Saracen saying, hey, Muhammad, I'm your, and then he says, well, what do you mean about, explain the Quran? And Muhammad would likely, chase him away. So where did you get these ideas from? Whereas Go Live Media, he'd probably embrace if the literal reading is what the Quran is supposed to be. So, but I agree with you. We're always asking Muslims to come on the Gin and Tonic. You guys are asking. Then I see they've got their own streams. Very rarely do they, allow anybody else on. So they have an echo chamber where I guess you guys would be happy to have Muslims on here if they don't threaten violence. And we would love to have them on the Gin and Tonic show. But my friend Stops obviously chases them all away because he's got knowledge and they don't. And, that's problematic for them.
Well, we had Adnan Rashid. You can't get any more prominent than Adnan Rashid. We had Go Live Media. We had Saracen. We've had JK. So we have had Muslims on here, no doubt about it. But obviously their views are very, very abhorrent. So it's hard to listen to them.
Yeah, but that's okay. But I mean, then we critique them. If we're gonna believe in freedom of speech, then we have to have quote unquote the abhorrent views, apart from incitement to violence, and we critique and see whether their views stand up under scrutiny.
Yeah, we're going to have Adnan Rashid obviously back on at some point.
He won't come on the Gin and Tonic show. When I asked him, he went, no. So it's very inconsistent. He won't come on the Gin and Tonic show. I don't rate him particularly, but some people seem to rate him for whatever reason. But he won't come on the Gin and Tonic show because, he might not get a fair shake, or some people will interrupt him, or whatever. So, again, either you come on to hangouts or you don't, or you're going to pick and choose the hangouts where you think you're going to have an easy ride.
Yeah, so I just want to answer a particular person's question. I can't pronounce it, adamant something. Bashing Islam is okay, right, Raj? You can't hate preachers. That's all you lot are. Well, if you stop trying to convert the whole world to your faith, then maybe we won't be complaining about it. Now, if you're going around the UK and the rest of the world saying you want everyone to become Muslim and doing dawah 24/7 wherever you go, then we have a right to critique your faith. You don't see Sikhs trying to convert everyone. Hindus trying to convert everyone. It's mainly Muslims and Christians. And unfortunately, Islam is the mother load of bad ideas. So we will critique it.
Yeah, this is sort of some Muslims jumping on the victim bandwagon while they're a minority and going hate. You don't hear any other group saying hate. Well, almost no other group. Certainly no other major ideology saying, hate. And again, anybody that critiques strongly and doesn't just walk on tiptoes he's a hate preacher, Islamophobe. As soon as I hear that, of course, these words, this is just words that are spurted out like emotional responses because, hey, I don't know how to respond to you. Oh, I'm getting emotional. I'm feeling negative. Well, I'll throw out the hate word. I'll throw out racist, bigot, Islamophobe, just any old word that I'll just throw out there to try and, bat off your critique.
Well, I think the main thing is that they want to convert everybody. So if you're telling me that you want to convert everybody, then we have a right to critique what you're trying to convert us to. Do we not?
Yeah, and it's not like that's really a religion of peace anyway. So I think, again, the inconsistency, if you're going to claim that everybody else is hate, we can, and I think there's justifiable to say that the Quran, at least, if not some Muslims, not all, obviously, is not the most peaceful, loving book that you can find.
Yeah. Manny, do we have Bus? You want to get Busker in the park? He came last time.
Oh yeah, I know him, don't I? Red Cat Boy.
Yeah, shall I get him on?
Yeah.
All right, Busker, do you want to go on to the live show? Do you want to come on? Because I've got your email address. Tell me. Busker.
Can I ask you a question, Rob? Have you actually read the whole of the Quran to actually talk about it?
Yeah, I have read it, and I've got multiple translations. So I use the multiple translations where I'm not sure of something. Now, I won't have everything off the top. I haven't memorized it, and I'm particularly focused on those when people make claims. So those are the ones. But I've read the whole Quran and with multiple translations available if I wasn't sure of something. And of course, I've got people that I can ask. And there's tafsirs as well. So those are like supposedly the scholars.
What do you think of it?
Well, it's a profoundly ordinary book, written exactly as I would expect from 7th century people who are completely ignorant of many, many topics, and poorly written. Certainly not written in the style that one would expect a book to be written. And certainly it's evidence against a all-knowing, all powerful God that's supposed to be sending a clear, concise message and complete to all people for all time. If that's the claim, and that's what most Muslims claim, then the book is clearly evidence against that, hugely. If you said to me, hey, this book is evidence of a person who didn't really know very much, that was sort of cobbled together over 23 years or longer, and then was just kind of put together in a book form, I'd go, yeah, I can understand that. It's repetitive. It doesn't start with, in a sequence. So, yes, I found it, and I'm just gobsmacked as to how anybody can find this book potentially either useful or true and believe it came from a creator, because it's incredible that you can think that. But again, my co-host on Gin and Tonic always says, many Muslims, not all, but many Muslims are taught what to think and not how to think. So they're told these things and they don't really critique them at all. And so they just accept it. And now somebody comes along and says this, has a critique like I do or anybody else does. And they go, ooh, what do I do now? And now there's a desperate attempt to try and rationalize, this very poorly written book that has got nothing. Now you come up with the linguistic miracles and all these post hoc reasoning apologetics for this sort of stuff. And it's just, and by not people who are stupid, by the way, like people like Abbas in the park. I don't consider him a stupid individual. And he is just absolutely taken in with the linguistic miracle. And he'll talk for half an hour about how wonderful this Quran is with how it says this and that. And when it's pointed out that in fact it doesn't say what he says, then like his responses is laughable. I've seen videos with him trying to respond to people's critique, and it's just, yeah.
So we got Busker in the park now.
Can you hear me?
How you doing? Was you at the park, or was you watching the events unfold?
No, I wasn't. I wish I was, but I'm not. No.
Did you hear the speech, or is that something that you're not listening to?
Well, apparently he said things about telling Tommy Robinson to get his house in order.
Yeah.
Football Lads Alliance need to get themselves in order and stuff like that. So apparently they're not happy about that. So,
all right. So how is Amy going? Is she all right?
Amy's very angry.
All right. About I'm not. Can you just clarify? Because I've heard that the guy that attacked her has actually been arrested. Is that true?
Yes, he's been arrested, and there's going to be his hearing is on the 18th of October at Westminster Court.
Oh, we better go down there and jeer that little prick.
Yeah.
Make him feel how Amy felt that day. So, do you know whether it was to do with Tommy Robinson actually giving that reward money, or did that have no? It wasn't to do with that. Did the police just find them?
Basically, they put pressure on the police. If they didn't, from what I've been told, allegedly, I'm not so sure. I'm just saying allegedly. They said they would send 500 people up to Soho unless he was arrested. That did the trick.
All right, that's cool.
Police then went there and got him.
Yeah. I was going to say today. What? So, have you heard from people saying that they're unhappy with Tan calling out the FLA and Tommy Robinson?
Yes, I have heard that. Yes.
Do
Yeah.
you want to give us a bit more information about that?
Yeah. But basically, they're not happy with him making remarks again, and you know what he said last time and what he said this time. Certain individuals are not happy, so even people that were there today are not happy. You can go on their Facebook pages and you can see this for yourself. They didn't realise that he had said stuff in the past, and you know what I'm saying. So they
do know why he's unhappy, don't they? Because it's not to do with logic.
You know,
it's to do with Lucy.
Yeah, I know. I've been told this. That he's in love.
He's in love. He proposed to her. He's in love with her. So
yeah, I've been told that. Yeah.
He has said even today. He said that anybody that goes against Lucy will be against me.
Yeah.
So it is even Tommy Robinson. So his logic isn't about the FLA per se, but he feels like the FLA has chucked her under the bus. So he's got a problem now with everybody that's against Lucy.
Yeah.
So I think that might be one of the reasons why he's acting very irrationally. He's a little, I think he's a little horny little thing running around trying to get Lucy, and then maybe she's not giving him the attention that he wants. Yeah. Bigger Belly's in the house. How you doing, Bigger Belly? So yeah, his speech was pretty crazy today. If I'm being honest with you, I was pretty. If I'm being honest with you, I've said before, I can't be associating myself with someone like Tan now. If I'm being honest with you, because he's gone too far.
Yeah, he's gone too far. I've said that all along, that he's gone too far.
I mean, what's too far though? As in, like, do people want to, apart from Betty, do people want to shut him up?
No, I mean, I think like I said, this is how I operate. Obviously, I don't want to shut. He can talk. He can speak as much as he wants. He shouldn't be harmed. But I just don't want to be supporting him.
Hang on. That was a really rude comment, Rob. Now, what you need to do is retract that comment. This idea that I'm the only one that wants to shut him up. First and foremost, I didn't chase him out of the park. There was a bunch of people. So what you need to do is get your facts right. Yeah. So don't be saying I just want to shut him up. Actually, there's a big amount of people that want to shut him up. So don't start any nonsense with me, or don't try and insult me, or any veiled sort of insult. Yeah? Start with facts. Yeah? Am I the only one that wants to stop him from saying the word nigger?
In this panel, as far as I can tell,
Rob, no, we're not talking about this panel. Yeah, yes, we're talking about the part, because I wasn't in the part, was I? When he was saying
about this panel.
Yeah. So next time, Rob, get your facts straight. Don't any with your foolish, childish insults. Yeah, because you're not man enough to stand by your words. Yeah. I'm not the only one that wants to shut him up, Rob.
Have a rant. Go on.
Don't try and insult me with any childish little insults. Yeah.
Let's get back to it, because
chase him out of the park. So don't try and insinuate I'm the only one that has a problem with the word nigger. Yeah, right. You may not have a problem with the word nigger, but we do. Yeah.
No, I don't think.
So next time, when you want to record something and you want to tell us how it happened, make sure you tell it properly. Because that's one of your little childish little things. When you say, "Oh, she got emotional," that is just an insult to women. You're trying to belittle me as a woman. But let me explain something to you, Rob. I don't need to act like a man because I don't have a pair of balls. I'm more than happy to be a woman, yeah? And if you can't deal with women, I suggest that you don't speak to us women, because we don't have to seek your permission on how to be a woman. We don't have to act like you. We act like women. And what you need to do is learn how to respect women.
All right. So before we go on,
let's get Rob to say his piece, because otherwise it's going to be very one-sided if you keep interrupting.
Yeah, but hold on. Yeah, but everyone hit the like button first. So hold on. No. Everyone hit the like button first, and then we'll go on, because no one's hit the like button.
I just want to make sure, Raj, are you in charge of this hangout, or is it Manny's? Just so I know, because I get confused sometimes.
I don't know myself, to be honest. It seems to be that Manny kind of lets me take control sometimes. So it's up to Manny who's in control. I don't know.
No, we don't want this to go too far, but I just think I personally don't think Rob is racist, so I would like to allow him to respond.
Yeah, go on.
Because because otherwise, Rob's gone.
No, he's here. Let me speak.
No, he's just dropped out. He'll call back. I didn't eject him, so.
All right, we'll get him back.
Oh yeah, he's back.
So something happened then.
Take it from there.
Say again.
Please go ahead and say.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
make
Sure.
your statement.
So the point I made was Betty appears to be. Well, let me ask the question here. That was an assumption, but I'm pretty certain. Is anybody else on the panel here for banning any words from Tan, from saying any particular words? Is anybody for banning that?
I'm not here for banning it. No.
Pascal and
Just not
Manny?
just not associating. Just not associating with that person.
Yeah. That's
say what he
different.
wants
That's
to
a different
say.
question. Yeah, sure. That's a different question, though. Is there any word that should be banned that Tan should not be able to say?
No, I don't think there is.
That would go against freedom of speech in the park.
Oh, there we go. Manny, your view?
Basically, my concern, and I would like any word which offends any individual or any community to release that pain that's associated with that word. So with the black community, it's an N word. With the Asian community, it's the P word, and whatever the relevant word is. I just want people to release the pain from that word, and that way nobody will be offended. But like I said, it's very easy for me to say that. In relation to the N word, because I'm not black, and obviously I'm not Pakistani. So if somebody calls me the P word, it's very easy for me to brush it off. So I'm more of a neutral when it comes to racial slurs, but I know a lot of other people are not that neutral.
Okay, so just so I can clarify, should any word be banned? Because I didn't hear whether you thought a word should be banned or not. Any particular word?
Well, no, I suppose I'm not really for banning anything. I'm just more for increasing one's intelligence and enlightenment.
Well, I'm with you on that, and that's what I think you and we've been saying for years. So my statement was in fact factually correct. Betty's the only one on this panel that wants to ban a particular word, and her emotional response to that, which is a factual claim, says nothing about my view on women. Again, a generalization. Or black people or anything else. So again, what we've heard, unfortunately, from Betty tonight is just an emotional response. Obviously, she's feeling some negativity, and that's now and that's why I say emotionality and intellect do not work well together. And this is not pointing out against Betty, by the way. This is any one of us, any of us that get emotional. We're not able to think clearly if we have a lot of negative emotionality going on. So. And, unfortunately, in this particular case, Betty demonstrated that she felt negative. And then we just heard a lot of generalizations and factually incorrect statements. And, I care about what's true.
So what about the situation if somebody is offended by a word, yet somebody like yourself wants the freedom to use that word? So how do we tackle that? Some people are going to be offended and some people are not going to be offended by a particular word. How do we overcome that obstacle? Because essentially that's what that is, because the N word carries a lot of emotional burden for the black community, for African community. So how do we bridge that gap? Because it's all fair and dandy talking about this on a philosophical level, especially after what Tan said and done. So how do we actually overcome this? Because that's what we're failing as humanity in doing.
Sure. So what we want to help people through reason, logic, potentially, because if we go to emotionality, then obviously we're not going to have factually correct statements. So what we want to do is to share with people: do you want to be empowered as a person, black, white, Eskimo, Asian, you name it? Do you want to be empowered, or do you want to be disempowered, in the sense that the moment somebody utters something, it's like they're pulling an invisible string on you? And so what we really want to do is help people, myself, everybody else. Now, I could be offended potentially, but I'd recognize that it's a choice of mine. And what can I do to empower myself so there's nothing somebody can say to offend me? So that's what we would want to help people do. Now, if people want to hang on to words and they go, no, I want to be offended. Firstly, we need to show them that they are choosing to be offended, because otherwise they think it's somebody else's fault. So we need to show them that, in fact, with a breakdown, they're choosing to feel offended. They just don't realize it. Once they accept and they understand that, now they have a responsibility to choose whether they still want to be offended or not. And if they do want to choose to feel offended, great. But what they can't then insist on that somebody else has to act differently because they've made this choice. So once we've gone through that whole education process and people take it on board and they want to be more empowered, I think that's the way forward, or a way forward at least.
I think it's very easy for very right-brained, logical thinkers such as yourself, Rob, to be able to control your emotions compared to many other people. That's not a criticism, because I'm a very right-brained thinker myself.
And all that sort of stuff. But I've learned through some education to put that aside, because it's more empowering not to have a negative emotion where somebody else is in control. That's the point.
No,
If somebody else is in control,
you've got it
they're
wrong.
pulling your strings, pushing your buttons.
You're talking about
if
the
you
left
allow
brain.
them to do that.
Rob, can you stop ranting? Because you seem to go on these monologues. The fact of the matter is, you're talking about the left brain. The left brain is what is the analytical brain.
Okay,
The right
sorry.
brain is the holistic brain.
Okay.
Manny,
Sorry, I got it the wrong way around. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Betty.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know because
Okay. Yeah. No, it is. I mean, obviously, one part of the brain is very logical, very more male-driven, and the other side is more creative, more, picturesque and what have you. I do often get it the wrong way around. Busker, did you have anything to say in regard to the matter? No.
Hello.
Yes. Did you want to add anything to the conversation?
Not right now. No, sorry.
Can I just say something as well? I'm going to reiterate this again. This is one of the problems that many women face. They are many, because the world is dominated by men. Men seem to think that when you invite a woman to the table, we need to change our ways to suit them. Now, I'm going to let you know, we make up 50% of the world's population. We're not changing our ways to suit men, to make them comfortable. What they're going to do is work hand in hand with us. This is not a dictatorship. It's meant to be a partnership. So you as a man shouldn't be telling me to change my emotions just because you can't handle it as a man. I'm not a man. I've never been a man. What you're actually saying is underhandedly saying that you can't cope with women. You don't like women. This is a typical misogynistic way of doing things. Yeah? What you need to remember is I'm not a man. Don't tell me to control my emotions. What you need to do is go and find your emotions.
How do we get over this obstacle then? Perhaps you can help us, Betty. How can we, as a race, get over this? How can we say this element of this a word like the N word? How do we get over it? How do we kind of clear the cobwebs, if you like? What can we do?
What I'm saying is, this is a partnership. Rob refused to acknowledge that the word was created by white people and it was there to dehumanize black people. Yeah, he did not let white people take any responsibility for a word that they created and what they did in order to dehumanize. Yeah, he just told the victims that the black people that we just need to get over it. Yeah, and this is a very logical way of thinking. But the world is not just run by logic. Your left brain is not the only part of your brain. The left brain can only dissect things. It cannot think holistically. That is what the right brain is there for. And a lot of women are dominated by the right brain thinking. So what I would say to Rob is, let us know when he's actually there to take responsibility. Yeah, for a word that white people created. Black people didn't create it. He could not tell us what African language created the word nigger, because it wasn't an African language. Yeah. So I'm not gonna be, and another thing, I'm not gonna be insulted as a woman. I'm not gonna be changing my ways just to suit you. It's about appreciating women. We're not gonna change our way just to suit you men. If you don't want women at the table, you can keep your little boys club. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you didn't get on this planet without a woman. So that's what I was saying. It's about respecting women.
I think
and
there's
Rob seems to have a
here.
huge problem with respect to women's point of view. I'm not changing it because this is the biggest insult that men always say to women. Oh, she got emotional. Yeah. Oh, yes, we did get emotional. And there's nothing wrong with being emotional. I'm emotional when I see my mum. I'm emotional when I gave birth. I'm emotional. Yeah. I'm emotional when my dad died. I'm not going to be sitting there and keeping quiet.
Betty, do you think emotion is a useful tool to have in a conversation where facts are concerned?
It is a useful thing to have, Rob. It is you who wants to devoid yourself of emotion. I'm not a robot. If I get knocked over tomorrow, guess what? I'm going to get emotional.
Let me ask you again, Betty, because you obviously
no, Rob. No, Rob. Listen to me. I gave you the answer, Rob. You do not get to control my answer, Rob. Listen very carefully. You do not get to control the answer. You don't have to like the answer. You got an answer. Move on. You are not controlling what I'm saying.
No doubt. You're clearly in control of whatever you're trying to say yourself. I'm asking you a question, you're not answering it.
You don't like
But
the
that's
answer.
okay.
You got an answer. I answered it, but you did not like the answer.
You didn't answer
Yes,
the question
yes,
I asked
I
you.
did answer
You
it.
made a generalized statement
No.
that did not refer to the question I asked.
Rob, I gave you an
I
answer. Like I
specifically
said,
asked you,
Rob,
do you
you're
think
not
it's-
going to get
No problem.
control
You carry
of
on
the
answering
answer.
that. No problem.
You do not have to like my answer. I gave you an answer. Move on, Rob.
Can we just go? Look, Hassan's in the place now. Maybe he can use one
Go
like this.
Betty. Go Betty.
Lars, you seem to want to
can-
divert the conversation here. Are you feeling uncomfortable at the moment?
Who, myself?
Yes.
I
As
think
Becky
I
has
think
a rant here, you want to move on.
no. What it is, I think it's getting a little bit
You need
off.
to know
off
how
the
to
rails.
deal with people that have emotions.
I know,
in a factual
but
conversation.
I think we're getting off the rails because we was talking about Tan's speech, and now it's going on to like females, kind of like temperament. So I think it's going a little bit off the rails. So I'm not trying to divert it. I just think it's
Yes, you are, but that's okay if you want.
Yeah,
to.
but I am diverting it for a reason, though. I think we need to go back into Tan's speech.
Well, how much more can we say about Tan's speech? What
We
else
haven't
do you want to
spoken-
say about it?
We haven't spoken to Hassan, so we got a lot more to say about it. Well, Hassan, you want to give us your, because you was there, so let's hear what you're going to say.
If you're going to ask me, did I hear Tan's speech? I'm going to give you a category, big fat no.
No, there was too much
I
shouting.
saw from the outside of Tan's speech.
Yeah.
I could tell you that. I could tell you how he was walked out. I could tell you that. I could tell you that the support that he got. But if you're going to ask me about anything that what Tan said, you know what? I ain't got up. Mate, I was one person deep. Like, basically, I was just behind, like, the second line. And I could tell you one thing, mate. All I heard was
A lot of whistling.
a lot of shouting, a lot of, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to rape you. I heard that one. That was a bit weird hearing that. I looked at him. I was like, okay, you know, whatever. Pulled your string on that one. But apart from that, I didn't see Tan's his iPad sort of like leave him. But it was just mad. And after was so weird because you know they did that same thing. You know when they rushed him out again, they were like looking for me, and they came down, and I was like, this time I was just like, you know what, mate, the guy that you've got a question for, that you're questioning me about, just left 2 minutes ago. So if you had any questions, you should have asked it like 2 minutes ago when he was walking out, instead of like heckling him. And that was basically it. It was surreal. He came in around 4:30. There was a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, a lot of, well, some seriously mangina men screaming like women.
Triggered mob activity.
Yeah, triggered. Yeah, very well said, Simon. Triggered mob activity. Oh yeah, I've got my mate Simon here as well.
Get him into the position as well. So get Simon.
Yeah. Stand there. Come on.
Hug your boyfriend.
Come stand behind me, Si. Come on.
Jump in, Simon.
And that was it. I tell you what, Simon got everything. I tell you that.
I saw him very close. I saw Louise there as well.
Can you see Simon?
No, we
Come
can't
on,
see.
jump in, man. Jump in, bro. Come on.
Sit on his lap. Sit on his lap.
No. No, we're gonna do that later, Raj.
Right. Yeah, because I saw you in the background. I saw you quite close.
Oh wow, that's so weird on the thing. You look like you're my.
He looks like Gollum. He looks like Gollum. Yeah, because
you know what I mean, brother. But to be honest with you, it was a really weird day today at Speaker's Corner. Without a doubt, it was mad. Not one person came and said hello to me until Tan left. Not one person. And no one came up to me. No one said hi. What you doing? How's everything? Not one person. Not one. Which I was kind of happy about, to be honest with you. I was like, wow.
My son should be uploading some footage now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, guys, for those that want to see exactly what happened on the day when the girls came down, previous.
I've just released that as well.
Yeah, there's a video out on that. I think.
I hate it here, isn't it? Isn't that channel?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's Simon's channel.
Yeah. I hate it.
And please do subscribe. I hate it here. Simon's channel. We could all do. We're supporting each other. Because we know what's going to happen. They're going to come for your channel. They're going to come for my channel. And
They're going to come for me now.
yeah, you understand me. So hopefully, better supporting each other. We might get a little bit further in life. One of them ones, I say.
All right, so let's have a look at this.
So shall I put this video on?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, go for it, man. I think you're gonna be pretty stunned at the level of anger, maybe might be used, or alleged anger. Let me just correct that, please.
Which video am I playing?
Yeah, get in the back side. Come on, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
Which video am I playing?
I think it's Free. Was it Free Girls?
No, I think it's called The Truth, No Surrender.
The Truth, No Surrender.
Okay, found it.
And I'll tell you something. We had a wicked time afterwards as well.
Hello.
Met up with Matey. Had a lovely drink with him. All is peaceful. The girls weren't. I know. I spoke to the girls. The most outrageous thing that happened was basically one of the girls was tried to be dragged from the back of her jacket, which was horrible. I'm going to shut up now so this could play. Have you got timestamps? It's a long one, just to let you know.
Okay, what is this? When was this?
It's a long video, guys.
Oh, it's a good view. We've not seen that view before.
And just to let you know, in the night time it gets really exciting, shall I say?
All right.
Video. Like it gets really like there's no argument there. It's like, come on.
Are we gonna watch the whole 22 minutes in one go?
Right, if you want to skip ahead,
Can we skip?
but I haven't got the times on it. Like literally, from what I've known, that got uploaded. I think it's what 20 minutes ago.
All right, so this is on. I hate it here.
The young lady's concerned. I let the young girl, the 17-year-old, press publish. So out of my hands, she wanted to publish it, so she got to press publish.
Basically, it was the girl's choice, Chloe. We wanted it to be known, and that's what we did. We like, yeah, you know what? That's what she wants. That's what she wants. She had the opportunity to see it for herself, and she was happy with it. So
essentially, they put him down as being a pussy, but he went in the middle of the G circle and read his speech. He got as far as the first nigger, and the Moroccan guy ripped it out of his hands. That's the point he crossed physical boundaries. That's the point the private security stepped in. That's the point it got out of hand because those people couldn't sit and listen to him read his speech. He got to the first N-word, boom, bam, physical, proves the point, act like monkeys, mob mentality, Callum's right.
I'm going to be honest with you today. It just goes to show that they cannot stay away from him. Like literally, he moved. I think it was 3 times, and every time he moved, there was just another circle around him.
We ended up in the middle of a police circle.
They had him barricaded, literally.
Had to be barricaded in to let him have his freedom of speech. And at the point he's saying one love, they're shouting, "I hate you! You're a racist."
Yeah.
They can't hear him.
Yeah, I don't think I'll open that now. Imagine that it is.
And I got to say a big thank you to the girls that came down today for showing serious strength in the face of adversity. Seriously, Well done. Well done.
This purple Adidas rucksack with the yellow hat. This one here.
Yeah, look. I mean, you could literally see girls getting dragged and pulled about. It's not really like saying that they weren't. You know. And it gets a lot worse later. I can tell you that at night you see some disgusting things. You're like, nah, come on, man. Like, you can't do that. You just can't.
Anybody see James's live feed?
No.
The police told them that they had to move them from the park because they're the minority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, we were with James on the way out. James does need to hold his temper in a little bit, but it's so easy to see why.
Mate, they don't give you breathing room down there, man. It's not a debate. It's like literally all they're doing is encircling, and the circle just gets tighter and tighter and tighter. I'm not joking. Today, in the middle of it, I swear to God, it felt like Barbados at peak season.
When it takes a circle of protection, here, look. Yeah. Tell me that's not someone being fucking hit in the head. Tell me that's not Jedi hitting someone in the head. Cunt.
Look at that. Girls' heads don't go back like that.
Big fucking black bully.
Yeah, it's getting silly now. To be honest with you, it's just really, really getting silly.
We're all whining about the nigger word.
I'd rather not be used, but hey, it's your speech.
Yeah, it is me.
But I'm not joking you. I'm just gonna say it. He loved it today, Tan. He loved it. He you know what? The more he seriously couldn't be happier. He was saying.
Can I say something, Hassan? I'm disassociating myself. I'm disassociating myself from Tan because he said some sick stuff today, and
I've not heard it.
Well, you should have before you make a judgment call.
To say what he actually went in, he started to go into depth.
No, but Simon, I don't think you heard one part of it, which is to do with a dead baby, and that dead baby is somebody that he was talking about was somebody that
I certainly didn't hear because there was too much whistling and too much heckling.
Yeah, but he was talking about somebody's. I don't even know if it's true, but somebody that I know was having a baby, and he said the baby died, and he said he killed the baby. So for me, that's like on a next level.
And I need to hear it.
He obviously he's not being serious. Obviously, he didn't really care. But even to say that, if it's true that this baby really died, I think that's pretty abhorrent.
I'm gonna say this one last time. I did not hear buckle of the speech, but what I spoke to him later about, and what he said is what he wanted to happen happened, and the girls that were there with him said exactly that the same. They said that.
Are you talking about today?
Yeah, today.
Well, I'm gonna give you. Hold on, listen to me, Hassan. As a bro, please don't say no more until you listen to the speech. That's what I'm asking.
All right, yeah, okay, listen to it.
Listen to it properly, and then come back and speak about it because you're gonna.
Standard, bro. Come on, that's standard.
He may have thought that. He might have thought that
another word. Wait. But what he's saying is the action that he wanted to see come out of today's speech, because it's irrelevant what the speech is. This is what he was saying. He doesn't care what he said. What he wants, what I keep saying to everyone, he's looking for action. He doesn't give a shit how he gets there. He just wants the action to be done. that's it. Like,
well, yeah, but I've made my stance. I've disassociated myself. You can have your own opinion on him, but
he wants. He can use the nigger word as much as he wants.
Simon, come on.
Because nobody complains about fatty. There's kafir. There's what are the other words? Like gringo, farang. If you're in Thailand, every culture.
What is tan in the gay community? Classified that
tan UFO, ugly fucking Oriental.
I don't want to be nasty.
I managed to offend tan.
There's so many things that can offend you, bro. Like you know, to try to getting that sorted out is mental.
And
And it's a minefield of shit that you're gonna have to dig deeper in. Bro, the way I see it, he literally said it. He goes, look, you know what? Tan could go out there and he will write on whatever it is. He said that. I go to bro, why do you keep on doing this offensive shit, man? He goes, bro, because they don't listen otherwise.
I completely associate myself with Tam now. Yeah. I'll go the other way.
I'll be honest with you, he's just a friend to me, and I've let it known today. You know, like I've not heard the speech. Again, I've not heard the speech, but I can tell you what I heard from the horse's mouth, being Tam being the horse, and the mouth being what he said, is that today he knew that this was going to happen. He wanted this to happen. He wanted to show the people that this is what happens, and that's it. That's all he gives a shit about, bro. You know what? I swear to God, I reckon if Pan goes in there and sings "Lullaby Baby" on the treetops, people are going to get offended. So the way he's seeing it is like, well, if he's going to offend people, he might as well just fucking offend them. You understand me? And no one's
look at this girl's face here.
Yeah. And that's terror.
Can I just say that people are taking offence to you calling Jedi a big black bully and stuff like that? Can I just say one thing in terms of that? At the end of the day, don't anyone come to me expect me. One moment, Simon. One moment. Don't expect me to defend Jedi. Man is a bully. Jedi is man enough to go and fight his own battles. So Jedi, whether he calls you a big black bully, nothing to do with me. If you got a problem with it, be man enough and go and fight your own battles. Because I ain't defending Jedi. End of story. Man is bully.
Yeah, I know your styles. I think you're great, Betty. I really think you're great, and I think Speaker's Corner needs more people like you. I uploaded a video earlier on with our conversation last week as like strong black woman, and I really want to see more people like you speaking the truth because you're good. You're really good. And after I watched the conversation they had after they tried to that.
Yeah, wait for it. It's going to be about now. There you go.
All right. So what's this section here then? Let's have a look.
And you can't argue with this. This is.
I'll play it then. I can't hear nothing. It's on mute. It's on mute, dude. I can't hear nothing.
I suggest you might need to watch it about 3 times this bit.
Oh, well, I think this is where Jedi is assaulting a slightly smaller person. It's not me.
Doctors fear his growths are stealing vital nutrients from the rest of his
I probably shouldn't reference his colour. You're right, babe. But I mean, when someone tried to go on about him, called him a nigger, a nasty, this, that, and the other, I said, I don't care what colour he is. He's a bully. Was one of my words at the time. When I'm angry, it's just like.
And I thought it'd be horrible as well. A person that's supposed to be offended by words shouldn't be using offending words.
Thing is, the weird thing is,
and the amount of times he's called him batty and all the rest of it, I'm like, seriously?
I know, but I just want to let you know, just know that there's going to be a comeback. Guarantee you, they're going to say something to you. But I just want to let people know, because a lot of times I get a lot of black men coming to me expecting me to defend their arse, and I don't defend men. I don't defend black men. They're man enough. They got to go and defend themselves. No man should be coming to me.
You can't deny the fact that he's a bully, can you?
Yeah,
he's a bully. Come on, he's a bully. He's bullied me. He slandered me. There's no way I'm gonna say that man ain't a bully. Of course he's a bully.
I think what people are having a bit of an issue with is that you said he's a big black bully. I would say outright he's a bully, definitely.
Bigger issue as they want.
All right. We're just giving. I think what Betty's doing is just giving you a bit of a heads up of what might go your way next week.
Don't care. Because really don't care. I launched myself in the middle of it, and so you all get offended by the word nigger. No one gets offended by the word batty. They're all saying, "Oh, to Callum. Oh, are you batty?" And I was like, "Why? Is that because you're intelligent? Are you calling him queer because he shows some IQ? Is that why you're accusing Callum of being gay? It's just ridiculous."
I find that a bit bizarre.
When Callum was one of the few people talking sense and still continuing to talk sense.
And you know the weirdest thing as well. You know, after it left as well, after the party, like basically dispersed. Again, they still did the same old shit. Who's Tan's followers? Bruv, the guy left 2 minutes
Who are
ago.
the feds? Who are the feds? Who are
Yeah,
the
who's the ops? I'm like,
oh, he's feds. He's I'm now the police. So me, police. Hello.
Yeah, it's just mental.
They're paranoid little boys. They are paranoid little boys.
Scared.
Running around, having a laugh in the park, just wanting to fight. No one wants to talk about anything.
Everyone's just chest beating competition. Okay, let's do a chest beating competition.
Who can piss higher up the wall?
Yeah.
And it's really fucking me off now.
It's boring, basically. Fucking boring. And the weirdest thing is they've got no intelligent argument left whatsoever. None. I mean, none. Zero. Zilch. Nada.
You're right, though. I probably shouldn't reference his colour, but, you know, whatever. It's word.
You got lighter?
Yeah, there's no doubt he's a bully. That's not even within doubt.
Yeah, nobody's debating that. But I'm just letting you know, like Raj said, I'm just letting you know because you know what they're like, and I fully know.
I fully know. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm just letting you know because I'm getting really fed up of all these men coming to me crying on my fucking shoulder. Oh, babe, come and rescue me. Fucking come and fight me.
I felt safe with you. I felt safe with you last week, Betty.
yeah, it was nice to meet you, Horn, and stuff like that. You know, it's always nice to meet people in Hyde Park and stuff like that. But I don't want all these people telling me who to speak to, what to say. You need to back cause. I'm just, you know what I mean? If you're a man, just man up. Fight your own battles.
Exactly.
Jane's Speaker's Corner is just leaving the Speaker's Corner quite late for him to be there. Quite surprised.
I don't want to sound nasty, man. People can do what they want. Everyone's got this fucking happy vision in their head that place is like this La La Land. Yeah, it sounds like Disneyland, but I think they need a fucking a military drop in there with some AK-47s because today it's getting stupid now. You know, I don't even ask that. But what's this? The last 3 weeks in a row now, like 3 weeks in a row, it's the same crew that's involved in the same shit over the same stuff.
Deep. Yeah. What's he there for?
Yeah. Have you ever heard him talk?
More respect, Omar. I've watched Omar grow, and I refuse to call him Rat Boy.
Yeah.
I call him Omar because I've watched him develop and grow in the last 2 or 3 months. At least he's showing some signs of fucking empathy
and sensibility.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because he got a warning.
It could be.
Brother, I'm going to be honest with you. You know what? Even you, Busker, when you go and see him, brother, you know what? Yeah, he's changed, family. You know what? After he got that, and it's true, maybe it was that slap round their head or a clip round the ear that's pulled him back up. But I'm being honest with you, man. You know what? He come down to me, he was standing beside me. There was no animosity whatsoever.
He does not want to get thrown out of the park.
Well, he wasn't. He wasn't that kind of calm when he was surrounding me when I was being chased escorted out of the park, screaming at me. So he was pretty much.
That guy that had the problem with you, he was there. You know, the Pakistani guy, he was there.
Yeah, he's totally different to that guy. Did you see him? He was totally different.
Well, and I'm not a drunk crackhead.
And you know what? Today was more menacing as well. Because we were talking, and yes, call it conspiracy, call it paranoia, call it whatever the fuck you want, mate. You understand me? But when you walked out the park, you know, like they never follow you, man. Like today, there was people following me, like genuinely following me. I actually stopped, and the guy was 10 paces behind. I stopped, went back and he. And I thought, yeah, let me just double back. And he doubled back with me. And you're like, bro, are you serious? Are you serious? And the guy's looking at you like as if you're mad. You're like, bro, where the fuck are you going? No, where are you going? Tell me where you're going so I could not go there. And the guy's looking at you like as if to say, how the fuck did you figure out? And I'm like, mate, because you're 10 paces behind me every fucking time I'm moving. Like, you know, hang back a bit. But no, they just... Brother, it was mad. Today was, I don't know. It was a fucking mad.
It takes a circle of protection, and like 2 layers, like deep, to let someone say whatever the fuck it is they want to say. It's a fucking travesty. It's a travesty that you have to engineer a circle of protection.
I bet you're going.
Right, sorry, I'm gonna go because I've got college in the morning as well. I've got things
baby,
to do.
have a lovely day at college tomorrow, sis.
Thank
All
you.
right, Betty,
Thank you.
take
Nice
care.
speaking to everyone.
Yeah,
Enjoy your
well,
night. Thank
yeah,
you.
you too.
See you. Bye.
Make sure you got that smoky club next time I'm online, girl. I love that room, mate. I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
We'll do some more music.
I'm gonna be back in. I'm gonna be back in a few minutes. I need to quickly just get something. Hold on.
Rob, did you see anything today at the park that like piqued your interest?
Sorry, you're asking me, Hassan?
Yes, my brother.
No, I was working. I saw part of it, or I listened to part of it, and I saw little clips here and there. But no, not really. I think it's pretty much been discussed. It's the same thing Dan's doing each week. He's coming down there to say whatever he wants to say, which doesn't seem to have a lot of substance, with the idea of quote unquote upsetting certain people. So, and if his point is simply to push the boundaries of free speech, then he's in alignment with what his potential goal is. If his goal is something else, then I'm not sure that what he's doing is working. So it just depends on what his purpose is. I'm interested in what his purpose is.
I think it's going.
Rob, see, that's the thing that I was going to say, Rob. That's what my outlook is as well. I said, mate, fuck what he says. Let's look at what actions are happening. And no matter what he says, the following week, for some reason, it's like a fucking prophecy. He says, look, shit's going to go to happen. People are going to get mad. And guess what? Next week, shit happens and people go mad. And then they go, well, he's not a prophet. Man, he's getting his predictions kind of like 99% right here. Can we not acknowledge that? Can we not acknowledge
so
that?
like masks, thugs managed to push the way to the front, grab his iPad out of his hand, and throw it on the floor. It's just it's a joke.
Yeah.
Did he get his iPad back?
Do that to each other? When do people do that to each other?
Did he get his iPad back? Hassan.
Go on, you were saying, Rob.
Sorry, what you saying?
Sorry, I thought you were saying something there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying his prophecies, obviously he's dealing with people that have a low level of psychological education, and so it's very easy to quote unquote rile these people up, or more accurately, for these people choose to be riled up. And so it's not particularly difficult to do. All you have to do is go and say something quote unquote insulting to one group or another, and they're going to get riled up. So I don't. If that's what you're referring to,
Rob, that's the saddest bit. There's people there, like their old elders, their mentors, their peers are there begging him, bro. Like you know what? That was 1 minute. They were begging him. They were talking sense to these people. Like you could see him like in their zone with them, and still they would walk away, and it was like fucking the blue light on a cat flip. It would just mysteriously waft back, and you're like, and it was comical because you could see it. Like me this time, I thought, you know what? There was a bit where I was asked to sort of like make sure that the girls weren't going to get their buns pinched and all the rest of it. So I stood behind, and then we came out because it was, as I said, it was like the Bahamas. It was genuinely really hot, like with body heat. So we sort of like come out of there for a little while, and I couldn't get back in. The girls, for some strange reason, they just seemed to just wiggle in there. I was like walking around the outline. I thought, eventually give up. If you want to add anything.
Nelson and Kalam are the only two fit people to be elders of that group, of that community, as far as I'm concerned. They're the only people who show the kind of that I've witnessed so far with the most amount of knowledge, humbleness, and wisdom. Kalam and Nelson. As for Jedi and they spent a whole week writing a rap about Manny being the tranny and the bacon lady's breath being haram, taking control over the fact that him and Raj were thrown out of the park, owning it like an ego thing, and then making a little speech. I mean, I don't know respect, so maybe I shouldn't slag him off. But then following that up with, I just want everyone in the park to learn how to talk to each other respectfully. Yeah. It's like, what? You spent a week, accusing Manny of being a tranny for a start. It was like, I've spoken to Manny about sexuality. I know he's quite firm and heterosexual, and I wouldn't judge him if he wasn't a fucking tranny.
Who cares?
Who cares? And you're going to stand there and dance about it, and then question me when I come and dance with you. I dance with you. And Jedi walks over and like, oh, what's your beef? It's like, I've got no beef, mate. everyone's taking offence over words. You know.
Look, I don't understand something. Look, if I'm meant to be this PC person, I'm going to be that PC person. I'm not going to be the PC person that is PC when it suits me and then not PC when it don't. Like, for example, I've got no problems with the homosexual community, the race community, shall we call them?
I do. Most gays are fucking annoying.
See, I don't.
Just watch.
See, I don't have that view. I genuinely don't. I
Hell
really
hath
don't.
no fury like a homosexual, mildly inconvenient.
Yeah, well, yeah, that I could actually agree with. But in that sense, what freaks me out is we can't go on that. Oh yeah, you know what? It's all right to not be racist, but it's all right to be homophobic.
Oh, batty this, batty that. Are you a batty?
It doesn't tally out. It doesn't tally out. You know, be real with yourself. This what gets me, because they're telling us, be real, bro, be real, be real. All right, mate, I'm being real. I've got nothing against you, and I've got nothing against him. Can you now tell me that? You're the one that's telling us that we should all unite. What after we throw the homosexuals off the roof?
Yeah.
What after that? Or do we do that? Or what do we do? Do we put them in a program system and sort of like get them to become straight again? Like
retrain them.
Yeah, retrain them. Like, how do we get rid of that? Like, we've got a massive homosexual community, a massive one. I think it's what's the percentage?
I've got no idea.
I'm sure there's a good percentage on that, because I know lots of gay people, like loads, and I don't actively go out and look for these people.
Do I have to form a gay fucking corner in the park? I don't want to.
It's just, mate, you either are politically correct or you're not. But don't pretend when it suits you. You understand me? Don't pretend. Like, been telling, like, throwing stones at us and calling us racist and holding racist views is, you look at them and you're like, bro, are you actually like listening to yourself?
And just constantly being a phobe of every fucking thing.
And another thing as well,
being a phobe. Oh, Islamophobes, racists.
What the fuck is that about? So what's people got to be talking about? Wake up in the morning, hi, how are you? And that's it. The day is lovely. I'm sure you'd get some people that's going to get offended for saying the day is lovely. They go, oh, you know what? You're a dayaphobe. You shouldn't be judging days. It's getting silly now. It's getting silly. And what? This dayaphobe, I guarantee it, in 20 years will be a real thing. I guarantee it. The rate we're going, this will be a real thing. Because it's getting stupid. Everyone's going so PC now that you've got to describe him. Yeah, so what did he look like? Yeah, he had hands the size of this. His feet were so long. His hair was of this certain shape of myth. Like, bro, just explain what the problem is. Like, we're just making things worse. So worse.
I'm reading comments. Yeah, the whole of Hyde Park is gay corner, and
there is a lot of gay people.
And I don't really want to start one because I sexually identify as don't give a shit, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, someone can interrupt these two drunks.
Cunt. That's cheers, Bobby. Thanks, brother. Much appreciated, cuz. Then, going back to you. I'll let you take the floor.
So what is it that we're discussing at the moment, guys?
I'm so batty. Yeah, you see, you can just read it in the comments.
It seems to be the same thing that we have to discuss all the time, free speech, whether people are justified in being offended.
Yeah, let's move on to something else.
But it's something that keeps bringing back to you, Rob. That's the saddest thing. We want to progress from this conversation. Like, I'm sure that you've had enough of going to Speaker's Corner and hearing the same arse debate from the very same people that you heard several hundred times before.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, for me.
I know it happens.
I don't mean it in great. I want something different. I don't mind a person talking about grooming gangs, but I actually want to hear something different sometimes when I go there.
It happens in every class.
It's getting
every
Islam, Christianity, the Judaic. For some bizarre reason, there's no. Well, unless you call all the old Hebrew, like.
Okay, shall we let Rob come back on that? Rob, go ahead.
Yeah, well, the point for me is to have a conversation with people down in Speaker's Corner, not for that person's sake. Very unlikely that person's either going to see a different point of view or anything like that, and virtually impossible they'll change their mind but it's for the viewers, the people that are either watching in Speaker's Corner itself, or more likely the viewing audience on YouTube or wherever it's going to be uploaded. There, people can analyze those people, and it's probably a minority, quite small minority, but people who care about what's true, who want to look into whether what people are saying makes sense, has got good reasons and evidence behind it. And that's the point for me. So I can go and say the same thing. And I actually prefer to speak to new people, because once I've analyzed that certain Muslims are using tactics and they're being disingenuous, then I don't see a great deal of reason. So many of the regulars, you could throw out a name and I will tell you the tactics and the diversionary things that they do in order to avoid having an intellectually honest conversation. So those people, there isn't much use for them. I've explained it to most of them, and I notice the tactics and I call it out. And so I'd rather speak to new people so that, we can have that dialogue, hopefully. Yeah.
Okay. Busker, Raj, do you guys want to come in?
I didn't hear I just literally just jumped on, so I don't know what you lot was talking about. So you might want to go.
Okay, Busker in the park. Do you want to share your opinion?
About
He's not listening.
Well, basically, how he seems to be going around in circles with Speaker's Corner. How Rob just said that people are not honest with themselves, let alone other people. That they don't come to the park to learn; they come just to shout,
to bully people and intimidate.
Essentially,
that's what they're there for. I've experienced it, so they're there to bully. You're having a debate and then you get called names, Or I've seen other people be threatened and you try and stop that person from being assaulted and you're called names. This is what got me into trouble.
So are you the chap with the red cap that comes with Amy?
No, you're talking about little Max.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Red Cap Boy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I can't seem to picture your face, but that's okay. I'm sure you'll introduce me sometime.
Yeah. We've never met.
He's only been going for a short while, so you was actually banned from the park by the time he started coming.
Guys, can I just interject, please?
Sure.
See, even in the comments, someone there just referred to me as racist. I don't know who that person is.
That's okay. That's okay. I get called racist by my own people all the time.
Someone's also called me a bully.
I get accused of being a racist for defending myself from being thrown off a roof.
Yeah, it doesn't have any power now. The word racist really doesn't mean anything. It's just it's a useless slur that people respond with when they don't have anything useful or coherent to say.
The same as far right. It's just like it's suddenly everyone's far right.
Yeah. Nobody takes that seriously. Nobody that pays attention takes far right seriously. That just means nothing. That just means you're probably slightly conservative. That's about it. I mean, so nobody takes it seriously.
No, I'm not Brandon. Why is somebody asking me if I'm Brandon for? Stupid is that?
See, people, mate, and that's another thing. That's the reason why I'm trying to not read comments no more. I swear to God, the shit they ramble on, some of them, you're like, oh, fuck me. Jesus Christ. It's like, how did you get so far in life with a brain like that? I'm sure you must have forgot how to breathe. I'm sure you forgot how to breathe. It's like flipping mad, just mad. And they still don't get it. Like, they still didn't get that the week before there was less police, and the week before there was less police. That they still don't get it. They still think that this battle, this, whatever it is that they see it as, is going to be won by them. I'm like, bruv, they're going to bring in the military before they give it to you. These are guys with big guns that have got scopes on them. They won't. They just won't. Like, if that place shut, they're thrown in the towel, then people are going to start getting pissed off. And before you know it, guess what? And I'm not going to say the R word, but it's going to begin that evolution. It's just going to. It's just going to. And they don't seem to understand that. You look at them, you think, bruv, let a person have this space. But no, they still want to even go into that space where there's things that their delicate, lovely little ears are never going to be able to take. Throw a pair, bruv. The world is harsh. You worrying about someone saying something to you is the tip of the iceberg, my little boy, when you go out into the real world. Because that's where you're going to see real people. country, not because someone said a couple of mean things to your ear. Get over it, man. Man, you know what? As a Turk, look up the word Turk in the dictionary, and ask yourself, why don't Turkish people fucking make a big noise about this, bro? It's a disgusting analogy of what we are. But we don't sit and bitch about it. We just go, yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. It's a word. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. As long as you don't treat me like a savage and a barbarian, I don't care. But some people just love to have that hang up. My grandparents could have chosen to have that hang up when the Turk came and took them away and said, yeah, you're either Turk or you die.
So would it be better if like-minded people lived in one country and then the rest of them lived in other countries, or is it better that there's a mixture of different people of different intellect? I mean, what would be suitable? I mean, obviously we can't group all the people that have the same opinion and ask them to move to one country. I mean, that's ludicrous. But
why not?
Is it not better that we all share different communities?
Why not?
Well, I think one of the things you want to do is you certainly want to ask people if they care about what is true or likely to be true, and are they prepared to be convinced by good reasons and arguments, and or abandon some of their beliefs if it's shown that their beliefs are either fallacious or have got bad reasoning and no evidence. And if people say, no, I'm not going to be convinced, then obviously those are the people you don't really, because they're irrational. They are just definitionally irrational. So I don't know whether you mean in Speaker's Corner or just in society in general, but
Society in general.
I think having irrational people in society is not beneficial for society. So, a cornerstone, I think, would be for everybody to agree to be rational. And the moment somebody's not rational, they would have to, or virtually by definition almost, reevaluate. And if they're not, then they are a drain on society. Irrational people are not, I don't believe, a positive contribution to society. Because, I mean, we've had it on this panel earlier on. And so I don't think that's beneficial. So I don't know, maybe somebody could put an argument and say, no, Rob, having irrational people in society or at Speaker's Corner is beneficial, and here's the reasons why. I'd be interested if somebody could do that.
I have one. It's to make the smart people look smart. How's that?
Yeah,
I think that's the only one that I've actually got. We need
Hassan, that's like you going to a kindergarten.
Smart people look smart.
Yeah, but Hassan, that's like you going to a kindergarten and speaking to kindergarten children and go, look, I'm smart. You're not any better off, in fact, than you were before. And you're actually being drained by, another version that's much lower. So, most people that I notice who are successful want to, raise everybody up, and they want to be at a higher level. They don't want to be at a lower level. And so I don't see that being beneficial other than for an ego, but it's not going to do anything beneficial other than stroke somebody's ego. And again, is that really beneficial? Because if you think about it for a while, do you need external validation with people who are at a lower level than you to feel good about yourself? Probably not. Somebody's talking there. I don't know if that's your buddy there, but maybe you want to mute yourself, Hassan.
Yeah, it's coming from Hassan. Okay, go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, no, so I'm just saying that doesn't seem to be a benefit to me, because you are now looking for external validation of how smart you are by comparing yourself with people you know are less smart than you. How is that valuable? I think that's the opposite. It's detrimental, because you are looking for external validation from people you know are not at your level, whatever that might be.
So what about the fact that we are human beings, and
in a sense that it's like trying to find a positive out of it. That was my contribution to it. Like, if there's anything there, it's just that I see as a benefit. That, yeah, look, we could have had these people run the asylum, but we're lucky that we've got a good brain and we've got a good sense of where we need to go. So we have smart people that run the show. That's what I meant in regards to that, Rob. I totally would not be happy with having stupid people around. Even if that includes me being in there.
Raj, Busker, do you guys want to come in?
This is not really a topic I'm that interested in. What can I say? I mean, some people are smart, some people are,
But Raj, let me ask you something, just to see. Do you think it's rational for somebody to learn from their mistakes and try to improve themselves, or do you think it's or do you think it's equally rational for somebody to recognize their mistakes and carry on doing them? What do you think out of those two?
Oh, you should learn from them.
Yeah, obviously you should learn from your mistakes, but you know, we're human beings, and even myself, you know I'm doing something that's probably counterproductive. But unfortunately, you know, we're not perfect. Like, so we're not like a robot.
Sure.
So we're not like so we're not like a robot. You know, that will probably, you know, if you was to try and program it, you know, learn a mistake and then it would not do it again. But for human beings, most people know that, you know, some of the things they're doing out throughout their day is probably counterproductive to kind of leading let's just say kind of like a productive life, but they will still do it. That's just the way it is. But should you try to? Of course you should, because otherwise you would just be in a rut all your life doing the same mistakes over and over and over again and never progress.
Let's say, okay, so an example, let's say I went down to, or a person went down, let's rather make it, you know, somebody that we don't know. Somebody goes down to the park and they swear and curse at Sikhs and they knock the turban off off a Sikh's head. And they go, do you know what? I'm just a crazy person. I don't really like Sikhs. I know I don't really like Sikhs. I'm just like a little bit crazy, but you know what? That's what I am. And everybody points this out and they say, okay, you know, you really shouldn't be crazy. They go, yeah, I know I shouldn't be crazy. And then the next week they come and do exactly the same thing. What do you think about that? Because they're acknowledging that they're crazy, but they keep doing the same behavior. And then when it's pointed out to them, you know, after multiple times, the defense mechanism, hey, I'm just a crazy guy. I just go down to Speaker's Corner and not, you know.
You're describing Rat Boy.
Can I ask you, is that in relation to me? Are you making an assertion towards me? No. Is that an assertion towards me? Because that is something that I say. Obviously, you're using a very loaded. You could say.
I mean, you could choose to have that associated with you. I'm just asking in a general point.
No, but if you want to make an assertion or a question towards me, I'd appreciate if you. I'm
happy if you want to take it that way. That's not. I'm just asking as a general point, though, because as Basker pointed out, it does apply to other people as well. Because the defense mechanism, hey, I'm crazy, or hey, I'm X.
No, for me, I've never said I'm crazy. What I've said, I've used the word like I've used the word. So if someone says to me, "Oh, Rod, you're a lunatic," I'll just take it back to them. Yes, I am a lunatic. It's kind of like me saying, like pointing a mirror at them, because most people don't see their own faults and they're pointing at my faults. So a lot of times when I'm reacting in a particular way, what people don't see prior to that is somebody doing the exact same thing to me, and I'm retaliating in response to their actions. So
sure. I mean, there are those occasions as well. At the same time, though, when it's pointed out that perhaps you've done a few things that you acknowledge and are aware are not positive, then multiple times your response is, hey, I'm just like X, Y, and Z, and there's some whatever your word is to do that. So instead of going, oh, do you know what? I'm going to really try hard not to do that. Sometimes I notice your default behavior is, yeah, I'm like that. It's like, that's my defense. And there's nothing behind that says, you know what, I recognize that's that's uncounterproductive. I'm going to do something about it. It just sounds like it's a comfortable word to say to deflect from responsibility.
If I'm being honest with you, I don't really care.
Well, that's fine. I mean, if you don't care, that's fine.
I'm just look, at the end of the day, if people don't like what I'm doing, just don't watch me. I don't force people to come over to me and watch or listen to what I'm saying. If you're listening to my live stream of anybody listening to it and they write, we don't like what you're saying, why are you watching me? It's kind of like this. But what I'm saying is that whatever actions I take, the person is choosing to watch. I'm not forcing you to watch. Like Speaker's Corner, when people are speaking, you don't force them to watch. They have a decision to either walk away, walk out the park, or just not listen to that person. It's the same with me. That's why I'll just say anything. I'm like, right, I'm crazy. And what now? Why are you still watching me?
But that's a separate point. What I'm referring specifically to you, because you asked, what I'm specifically referring to in your case is when you acknowledge that you've done something that's negative, and your acknowledgement is, okay, I've done X, I realize X is not good, but hey, I'm just like that.
No, what I say is this: I'm acknowledging that I'm self-aware enough to know what I'm doing is wrong, and at some point I'll probably stop it. But most people are hypocritical, and they don't even know what they're doing is wrong. They haven't even got to that stage. So I'm very self-aware. When I'm doing something, I'm like, all right, this is wrong. But obviously, I'm a human being, and if my buttons are pressed in a particular way, I'm going to react in a particular way. And so it's not me going around saying, look, I'm a lunatic, so I can get away with anything. I've never said that. All I've said is basically that, you know, this is me. If you think I'm a lunatic, then I'm a lunatic. If that's what you want to call me, I'll call myself that. And you just don't have to watch me or hear me or listen to me.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's like I say, that's true, and that's a separate point. There, it's when you acknowledge that, quote unquote, you're acting in a negative way. Let's not say lunatic, but whatever it is, you're acting. When you acknowledge that,
so
what to people, you don't make any effort to improve that behavior. Then it sounds like it's just an excuse, and then it makes it difficult for you to criticize other people, because they could do the same to you. They could say, "Hey, Raj, let me finish, Raj." Because if that is the mechanism you're currently using in certain circumstances, not all, then it makes it very difficult, and you know, it may well look inconsistent for you then to criticize somebody else, because they could just say to you, "Hey, Raj, yeah, I recognize that wasn't particularly useful, but coming in your face or saying X, but you know what? I'm just kind of an angry guy," and you know, and then you would be in the position of, well, you either have to accept that because that's how you are, or you want to challenge them on that. And I think we all want to challenge somebody who goes, "Hey, I'm an angry guy." Well, okay, so you're an angry guy. What are you going to do to not be an angry guy?
So I'm going to use this particular situation as an example. If you spoke to me like that 3 months ago, I would have ripped your head off. Right now, I'm rationalizing and saying Rob is trying to help me. So I have improved in a lot of ways. So the way I behave would have behaved maybe 3 months ago would have been, "Rob, why are you telling me what to do? Blah, blah, blah." So right now, what I'm doing is rationalizing to myself and say, calm down. Rob is just trying to give you some productive advice and maybe for you to self-reflect. So is that an improvement? I think it's an improvement. It may not be a massive improvement, but it's still tiny steps. And sure. I think that the fact that, you know, I'm trying is better than somebody saying, "No, I've got no problems." What I say to people is that, "Look, I'm a flawed individual. Yeah. And I know I've got a lot of flaws, and I admit I've got a lot of flaws." Most people cannot even admit their flaws. So until you admit your flaws, you can try and work on them. But there are millions of people around the world, which is why I call myself a misanthrope a lot of time, who think they're perfect, who think they're angels, who think that, you know, sun shines out their backside, and they're terrible people. And so with me, when I say, "Oh, I can be a prick, I can be this," what I'm trying to say to people is that I know I'm like this. Do I like it? Do I think it's productive? No. But that's the way I'm. And will I improve on that? Oh, of course. I don't want to be like this for the rest of my life. But at this precise moment, me being the way I am gets a message across. Yeah, go on.
All right, bro. See, this is what I love. You said that being an arsehole and being a dickhead doesn't work for you, didn't you?
No, I said it works for me.
No, it works. You see, it works for you, but it doesn't work for everyone, does it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But it works for me.
See, what everyone's getting the butt hurt about. Tan seems to have that same thing, but on a grander scale and shouting a little bit louder. But people seem to be offended, like tenfold when he's doing it. But see, this is what freaks me out. Is that if I'll give you an example, my brother. If I hear someone say something negative, and we know as a society, we shouldn't be saying that. Like walking past disabled children and laughing at them and going, "Oh, look at the fucked up position." We know we shouldn't do that. You understand me? We know. But if someone could do that and send out a voice, a message to people, then why are you worrying about how he grabbed your attention? He's passed the message on. You get it now, don't you? Yeah. All right. So let's move on.
Yeah, but I always say that I'm like a sledgehammer to a nut. Is it the best way to do it? Maybe not, but it works. I have people coming up to me, "Why did you call my country X, Y, Z?" And then I'm like, "All right, have you looked at your politics in your country in the last month?" No, we don't know nothing that's going on. So at least brings them to the table. And the same with a lot of other things I've said. It's not the most let's say productive, intelligent way to do it, but it is a way that I've realized does work for me personally.
Yeah, I think if you're going to be very blunt with things, to some degree, I'm fine with that as long as you've got facts to back it up. So if you say Pakistan is a third world whatever, and you've got facts and evidence to show that, and I think it's certainly very low on the list in my view, and we can easily show that, then I think for me it's more of a thing when somebody says something, whether it's blunt or whether it's nicely phrased, but they've got no evidence, so it's just their opinion. I think we can all agree that, you know, somebody's personal opinion, they're entitled to it, but we don't need to take it seriously unless they've got reasons that we can accept.
All right, so I had a conversation with what's his name, Beyond Atheism, and I explained to him why Pakistan is a third world country. I mean, they've had 4 military coups in the last 70 years, and half of their time in terms of their government has been military coups. In the last month, you have Imran Khan, who promised to relax the blasphemy laws 3 or 4 years ago and tried to embrace the Ahmadiyya community. He's now backtracked on his words and is now trying to tighten the blasphemy laws within Pakistan, which is one of the most strictest blasphemy laws. And on top of that, he's going to go to the United Nations to announce that he wants a worldwide, or at least within the Muslim world, to increase blasphemy laws within the Muslim world. So there's loads of things within Pakistan that is a problem. Pakistan is actually a failed state. If you was to look into its history, it's pretty much a failed state. So when I say that, I do have facts behind it, but I don't. That's why I say to people, ask me. Like when I'm saying it, I just want to get your attention first, yeah. And then if you come up to me, ask me, I'll explain. But most people just go haywire and go crazy, like you saw with that particular guy, that Pakistani guy. He couldn't think about it rationally. I've called India a shithole millions of times, and no one's ever said anything to me. So you know, it depends how people want to take it.
Let me ask you one more thing, and then I've got to go to bed. I've got an early start tomorrow.
Yeah.
You and Saeed seem to be having this, what appears to be from the outside, almost like a schoolboy type of, how can we say, little verbal tussle there.
Yeah.
And again, you know, you said you're reflecting and that sort of stuff, and that's great. And one could say the same to him, but it sounds like each of you are just cursing each other out. A lot of it's emotional, a lot of it doesn't have any substance to it. And again, if one is looking to, you know, raise one's level of psychological development or intellect or whatever the case is, somebody like that, again, one could look at as a gift. Every time he says something, you know, one of your responses would be, okay, how do I deal with this from a factual point of view? Because and I was having this conversation with Betty earlier, and you know, it deteriorated a bit, and you sort of stepped in there. But as soon as emotion gets involved, and it's not easy, and I'm not saying we have to be robots. Everybody goes, oh, Rob, you know, you think we have to be robots. No, I'm not saying you have to be a robot. But where there's a factual claims are being made, can we examine that? And I'm not perfect, by the way. I'm not saying, hey, look at me, I'm a Buddha. You all need to follow me. But we don't need to be perfect to go, hey, what's better and how do we approach that? We don't have to be the Buddha ourselves to recognize that there's certain behaviors that are more productive to each of us. And so, you know, with Saeed, it just sounds, and I know there's drama, and you get like 300 viewers on there with the drama and stuff like that. And I listen to a little bit, and it sounds like a bit of a rant. And if your purpose though is to evolve yourself, then my observation is, how is that useful? Because otherwise it's a back and forth. Now, if your purpose is, hey, I want to get viewers and I like the drama, cool. Then you're in alignment with what you're doing. But if your view is, hey, Rob, actually, I want to develop as a person in whatever way that is, then is it useful to have this sort of, it very much looks like a schoolboy type spat between the two of you.
Yeah, so let me say so. If I knew you was watching, I probably would have regulated my behavior a bit more.
Well, it's not for me, right?
Well, no, I'll take that as a compliment, because I do respect you, Rob. So the thing is that the viewers that watch me, look, when I'm around my sister's house at the moment. So if you watch me in the last week, I've got an empty house, and I don't normally have an empty house. So I've been going a bit crazy, more crazy than I normally would. I've been shouting and raving, and I just wanted to enjoy myself when I was here. So yeah, I agree with you. I'm sick and tired of all this stupid, and I think the Speaker's Corner has become a circus. And I've said that before. I'm part of the problem. Am I trying to rectify that? Yeah, a little bit. But when people are baiting me so much, constantly, it's very hard. I mean, you know, he's making these aspersions against Manny Sinder, saying that he's a tranny. He's now doing other stuff, and you know, there's like plots to kidnap me and all that kind of stuff because I insulted his cousin. So it has got very, very what I call vitriolic and very, very nasty. And I agree with you. It's stupid. It's playgroundish, and I enjoy it though. This is the problem. I mean, this is my biggest fault. I enjoy the kind of silliness of it, which is why I say that I'm actually part of the problem of Speaker's Corner.
I think that's a good awareness to have, because you seem to be, and so does he, and other people, by the way, because you get hundreds of viewers on there, addicted to the drama. And that whole addiction to drama, I would suggest, and this is not for you personally, occasionally happens to me and other people as well, that's a low-level addiction, and it requires external people to have that drama going on.
Yeah.
And if that's where people want to live for whatever period of time, great. But again, if it's you want to develop yourself as a person, holding on to that drama, and actually, again, if you have a different perspective, which is like he could be your greatest gift. Every time he says something, you go, okay, let me take that in, because obviously in the moment it's not easy to do. I accept that, and even for me on occasion, not easy. But go, okay, what can I do? How can I respond to this in a way that elevates me above that I can deal with the facts, if there is any, or point out where he's fallacious. Now, of course, if that's not what you ever want to do, then cool. But you did recognize that being addicted to the drama is something that you currently do, and I guess the question is, how long do you want to choose to be addicted to the drama? If it's like, Rob, I want to do that for the next 5 years, cool.
Oh no, you're crazy. You're crazy if you think that. No, what it is that yeah, obviously one of the things that the police have said that they want to restrict. They're very concerned about the social media aspect, and obviously I'm part of that as well, and I can understand. But the thing is, it's very difficult. I'm not going to say that you are like a robot, but don't take this in the wrong way. You are quite. You're very controlled in your let's just say your thought process. I've got a hot head, and so when somebody does something, it takes a lot of willpower for me to not, unless I'm drawing. So one of the things I want to explain another thing. I haven't drawn for a week and a half, and my drawing is a bit like my drug. So when I'm not drawing, I realize I'm much more kind of volatile. So this week I've been going crazy a bit. So yeah, all I say is that I appreciate your feedback. I'm not offended or anything. I think you've got valid points. I think everybody else should take that feedback as well, not just me.
Myself, hey, when I say something, I'm listening to my own voice as well, because I'm not perfect.
Can I just agree?
Can I just say something, Rob? Rob, can I say something?
Really affected my music as well.
Hold on. Yeah, can I say, Rob, please don't watch my live streams. I beg you.
No, I don't know. I might click on it for a while to see what you're talking about, but once I see you on the rant, then I generally don't watch those, because I'm looking to have conversation with people that have got something, for me personally, and that's a personal choice, something interesting to talk about. And if it's kind of drama that could easily be sorted out between two grown adults, then yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I can see why that would draw an
you might
audience.
ask me one thing. I don't think that these two grown adults can sort it out in this situation. I genuinely don't. I'm being really honest with you. One has got a mindset that is totally contrary to the other. Like one wants to live and one wants to die. That kind of contrast. Like it's just bizarre. Like, I mean, you can go to anywhere in Europe, bizarrely, and speak to a real European, and you've got that mutual exchange there, and it seems genuine enough. Do you understand me? As in, it's real genuinity in what the real situation is. I ain't got a clue. But when you, like, for example, you saw it today, like, fucking hell, people losing their shit over words. I mean, this is before even it's got to action. So if you're having problems with words, how the fuck are you going to deal with the action side of it? And this two adults. They're two different adults. One's like, it's the man, instead of being one from Mars and one from Venus, man and woman, it's one man's from Mars and one man from Venus. It's like, okay, now how are you going to meet these people up? How? They're different. Like their views on women's rights are different. Their views on property is different.
No, there is a way, Hassan. Let me jump in here quickly, and then I'll. But there is a way around this potentially. If you have somebody like Raj and Saeed, and they both claim that they care about what's true. They both claim that they want to be rational, and they both want to have a better, improve the way they deal with other people. If you can get agreement, it's what we call an agreement frame at a high level of chunking. That's the kind of techie talk, if you like. If you can get that with people and they agree the basics, the foundation, then you can start to ask questions, and they would be forced to respond in a rational way because they've agreed to it ahead of time. So what one can do, like as arbitration, is get like Saeed and Raj and go, okay, on a hangout, I'll be a moderator and I will ask them certain questions, and we will see whether they want to. The moment somebody is like, let's say Raj goes, now what, I don't want to be rational, I want to be emotional. Then we're at impasse. Now I'm not saying Raj would do that, but if somebody did that, now I don't care about what's true. I don't want to be rational all the time. I want to be completely irrational when it suits me, and I just want to bring in emotion because I can't control myself. at that point you can go, okay, that person is, we're not able to, have progress with them if and until they get to a point where they do want to. So there is ways around this, but you need agreement, A, that they want to do it, and B, that they're going to agree to certain foundational points, if you like, and then you can build on that, because you can easily see and you can point out where each of them is, sort of sliding off the rails in a sense. And then if they agree to being rational and wanting to improve it and not being like, guys in the playground, then it's easy enough to pick it out. And then, it's up to them whether they're going to go out there and actually go and attempt to make a change. But going back to Raj's point, the biggest gift is to have an interlocutor that pushes your buttons. The more they do that, if you're open to it, the more you can learn not to have your buttons pushed. But most people, instead of wanting to overcome their buttons being pushed, they want to stop people pushing their buttons. But that requires you to control somebody else's actions. And that's when you're not in control. And that's the illusion that everybody is walking around with, that they can control other people and stop them pushing the buttons. You can't really. What you can do is stop those buttons being pushed, or the short-circuiting the button, so when it is pushed, it doesn't have an effect. And that's the difference. And on that note,
that these people want to change. Yeah, like you've got the assumption that these people are open to change.
Well, that's why I said, but that's why I said to you, that's a foundational plan.
Numbers until they're strong enough to say, kick out. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I do.
Western view, like keep giving the opportunity. It's like, and you were explaining this just moments ago. It's like, what do you do to the same kid that keeps coming to your shop, stealing the same fucking chocolate bar every time? Well, what do you do to? All right, eventually you're gonna get angrier, and then you might get a little bit physical, and then that's going to escalate, and that's going to escalate, and that's going to. I mean, you're going to try everything, but it's still going to come back and steal the same Mars bar or whatever. It doesn't make sense. It's a different. All they want to do is go, yeah, we're going to sort it. Yeah, we're going to sort it until they get the numbers, and then they're gonna turn around and go, yeah, we're going to sort it, and then you've not got nothing to stand on. See, this is the dangers. See, this is the Western mind. Yeah, we talk about it. We'll try. No, sometimes, I'm sorry. Sometimes people just need to be told, bro, if you don't like it, fuck off. If you don't like it, fuck off. Like, because we got a good system here, and the system there's shit. And seeing we don't want that system, and that system comes with your motherfucking mentality, we don't want it. Fuck off. Do one. Why can't a country say to another person that's built it up, made it the way it's up, made it so that everyone seems to be happy, just for a fucking minority to go in and go, you know what, it's not fair. Fuck off. I don't care. Life's not fair. Get over it. When was it in classroom or in social studies was the lesson taught that life is fair? Because I fucking missed it. And I've not heard it being repeated. So this
trannies in the park
is mental. Like, if you're not ideal, like, I'll give you an example. You go into a prison, right? That's as punishment. Now, if you cannot cope in prison, they've got a prison within a prison, and you're not good for that. They've got a prison in a prison that's got a mental ward that has a prison in it. So you just dig, bro. You dig as much as you want, because guess what? That fucking pit is bottomless. But people don't get that. What they've done is, oh, you know what? The poor people in wherever country that they've decided to warm people's hearts with, and us, like muggins, we're going, oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. Whilst we're saying it's so sad, they actually got our pants down and battering our bumholes.
Molo,
yeah, one of them ones. And then when we say, okay, excuse me, can you please just take your hand out? We then get called racist, fascist, bigots, xenophobe, can't take diversity. Well, show us an example where it fucking worked. Where did it fucking work? Where did it work? And their socialist fucking agendas that come just like as if it ain't insult enough that they've got to put that shit on there. And then they go, well, I don't know why the people are moaning. I mean, seriously. Why don't you we might just go outside the bank, beg the praise, drop our pants down, allow the fisting machine to go on, and then just carry on with our fucking day, because it's become like that now. It genuinely has. It genuinely has. And it's getting boring. Like, oh, we've got.
Can I encourage you to
We just need to get their clothes packed, give them a nice check. Here you go, mate. That will whatever fucking shithole country you want to go to, that will make you fucking the daddy there. They will be sucking your dick until the food comes
all right.
It's costing us triple that, keeping them here and listening to the bullshit and the rhetoric they come out with about, oh, they're people, bruv. What if you're so concerned about your people? What the fuck are you doing here, bruv? Why aren't you with your people? Why are you not with your people? Because you know what? And I say this, I'm classified as a traitor to Turkey, but you know the weirdest thing? If I was in Turkey when Turkey starts a war, guess what side I'm going to be fighting on? The Turks. Yeah, on the Turk. But if I'm here, guess whose side I'm going to be fighting on? The Brits. Because that's how it works. That's how it fucking works. And I'm sorry, if people are not expecting this is just madness. Madness. Someone comes into your country, tells you that you got to eat a certain type of food in a certain type of mannerism. That's not even in fucking government.
All right, I'm going to say good night, guys. I've got an early start, so.
Okay, thanks, Rob.
Anyway, Rob, take care. I think you probably.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what? It's getting really fucking boring. I'm being really honest with you. It's getting to the point where it's getting like, all right, has really the fucking asylum been taken over by the fucking patients in here? It really has. It really has. You're seeing policies where the innocent one is getting taken out and the one that's as guilty as fuck is getting protected. Their identity. Mate, wait, hold on. Did you rape her? Yeah. Did you go to court? Yeah. Did you lose the case? Yeah. Did you serve time? Yeah. And you're telling me that I can't tell what the society that you took one of theirs or however many that you're capable of doing this, and you're going to tell me I can't. And then when I do, I get put into a place where he's actually meant to be in. Are you mad? Are you? No, this is the case where the mentals, the patients have taken over the asylum, and it's getting proven over and over again. Kids getting stabbed daily. It doesn't even go in the news. It don't even make it to the news. Why? Married Muslim women getting raped on a regular. Doesn't get mentioned. Don't worry about that. Kids getting groomed. Don't worry about that. Your free speech going. Don't worry about that. Prices of houses in this country, mate. I don't know how the fuck you're gonna be able to buy a property on £7.50 an hour. Good luck on that one. You understand me? Good luck on that one. I hope your grandchild contributes and your great grandchild contributes to that one for you to be able to buy a house. It's mad. It's gone. It's done. It's done. And then they wonder, are people gonna fight? Are you for fucking real? Are you for real? What have you left them? What the fuck have you left them? Nothing. And then you want to know if they want something back. All right, whatever. What
the hell are we talking about?
I don't know what's going on. Poor Rob, he had to suddenly leave. I do feel sorry for Rob. If you're listening afterwards, I do feel sorry for Rob because we are very childish. Well, I am obviously. I have this very childish.
We're just analysing this way too much. I'm sorry, but we are. You know, that's another thing. Like, bro, you know what needs to be done. You know what needs to be done. And all it's going to do is inconvenience this country for about, 5 years of its debt. And then they're done. Or we're just going to be suffering for the rest of it. Oh, mate, give me the 5 years anytime over fucking life. I'd rather do a 5 straight than a 25 straight. Any day.
Busker, do you have anything to add to the conversation?
Yeah, I think Tan believed his own hype.
Mm. Oh. Yeah.
Tan's got it right so far, bro. Everyone says Tan's got it wrong. Where's Tan got it wrong? You know what? I speak to the guy, and he tells me what's going to happen. And guess what? I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, brother, I'm an atheist. I'm a fucking atheist, and I'm starting to believe in prophecies. I'm like, I'm sitting there questioning my mind, going, hold on, should I be like, I don't believe there's a God, but what you're saying is coming out right. It's coming out right. And he's actually he tweets about it as well. That's the saddest part. This is what's gonna happen. So you don't believe me. Don't believe in me. Don't believe me. You just look on his Twitter feed.
That's not him. That's not him.
Bro, I see. Listen, and telling the guy that does his Twitter feed what to put on. Shall we talk about that today in front of me? And then 2 minutes later, it was up on the Twitter feed, and word for word. You're telling me that Tan's like he's left it to people. He's got everyone.
People do need to see the quieter, the more kind of.
And we're going to arrange this as well.
1-to-1, Tan is so much of a different creature.
He's not that. It's like, mate, that's miles away from Tan. I don't recognize him when he's doing that. And we even take the piss because it's the only time that we don't understand Tan. I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. I don't know what the fuck you're saying, but I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to read your manifesto. You understand me? That's what I do. I just read it and I go, yeah, well, that's a little bit dicey, that bit there. But again, look at the actions. Fuck the words. Fuck the words. Fuck the words. Look at the action. He says this. You know,
Simon's got his coat on.
Go on, sorry, bro, for interrupting you.
Hey?
Sorry for interrupting you, brother. My apologies.
Yeah, I said Simon's got his coat on.
Well, I've got my coat on.
Oh.
Get your coat, you're pulled.
Fucking hell, YouTuber on the fucking wacky backy, ain't you?
Oh man, standard, bro.
I've got a can of beer here because it's England.
Yeah. I'm not drinking. I am not drinking.
Manny, can I suggest something? Yeah, it's going to sound quite cruel, but I think sometimes you should, you know, with Rob, maybe do separate shows where you can have an intellectual conversation, because we like to have a little bit of a silly banter and a giggle and stuff. I don't want him to get offended by our silliness.
Rob's a big strong boy, man. You know what?
Maybe you, James, and them like, yeah, maybe you want to do a more sensible show once in a while, like once a week or once every week. When we do our shows, we have something just a bit silly, light-hearted. What do you think of that?
We are doing a show on Wednesday. Me and James, and I'm trying to get Ash the Sufi on.
So that's what I'm saying. You can arrange to have a show where Rob can come and you can talk about serious topics. Because I just want to have a bit of a good laugh, man.
But why could you not have a laugh with Rob?
He feels like my father, like a school teacher or father or something. I respect him, so I don't like to be. So when I'm on his show, I'm very sensible on his show. So Rob, take it as a compliment. Don't take it as a disrespect. Like, he's very intelligent. So
you are a highly intellectual, emotionally correct person, mate.
I feel quite bad when I'm saying stuff. I'm saying that's why I said when I now know he's watched my live stream, I feel a bit embarrassed now. I feel a bit embarrassed.
Hadouken.
Yeah, I'll be going crazy. I didn't know he's been watching my live streams. He must think I'm a lunatic. So yeah, I think what we should do is to have.
You've got a big gun in your profile picture, right? You get rid of the big gun.
The gun here is not.
Just see your arse. Stop prodding my ear with it.
It's not just. Is that a euphemism?
No.
So the thing is that the gun here is not just some random shotgun. It's actually a 125-year-old antique. That was the last. Yeah, shoot you. The last Maharaja's grandson of Punjab's. It was his shotgun. So not many people are allowed to hold it. So I was allowed to hold it because I was exhibiting.
Simon wants to know: was it modelled after his schlong?
No, that's what you want to know. That's what you want to know. What do you two get up to when you're alone, you two? Can I ask you something, Simon?
Shall we do a live feed for you?
Can I ask you something, Simon? Simon, hold on.
Man, I'm switching off.
Simon, so can I ask you a question? You know that gap between his teeth, is it useful?
You thought about this too much.
Funny, man. That's so funny, man. I love it. See, this is what. See, look, guys, look, Muslims. Look, this is what life's about. Laughing, enjoying yourself, letting yourself go.
Joke, man. It's just a joke. But I knew there was some use to it.
Huh?
I knew there was some use to it.
You thought about it longer and harder than I
This
have.
is the guy that just yesterday was telling me. Just yesterday, he was telling me that Abitala wants to kidnap him. Wait for it. Kidnap him, put him to the back of the van, take him to a forest, tie him up, and then butt sex him.
Oh yeah,
this is the guy that's telling me that I'm a bit.
Hold on,
bro.
Hold on, Busker, yeah. Do you know Amy got punched in the face, yeah?
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys are saying to me, hold on, why are you shouting at me now? This is a live stream, yeah, of some of those guys. You know, Saeed and a couple of these guys talking about Amy, and listen to what they say. And one of them's a female, yeah, that is supposed to be this kind of like lovely young girl. And listen to what she says about Amy. Listen to this. Hold on.
Chivalry is dead.
Yeah.
And then within the next
I think we must point out that the person who was naming Italy was a non-Muslim.
But they were posting it. Oh, Muslim punched
he was
all over it.
But you know what? Amy actually attacked that guy first.
Yeah, you see, she pushed him.
Pushed him, so he just gave the right hander.
He does not. I'm sorry. This might be an unpopular opinion, but that was self-defense. Why are you going to push him? She had done that. And seen her do that in these weeks. She pushes. She provokes them because she's a weak old lady. Apparently, she's disabled. Which I don't believe she is. I think someone should get her done.
So did you hear say she deserved it? Did you hear that?
She deserved it.
Yeah.
She said Amy deserved it. Yeah.
Yeah, he predicted it. That's another thing. He did predict it. He did say.
No.
He told her off. Sorry to shout, but he told her off and said that, you know, come out from behind the camera and speak to me as a person. And he knew that she was going to get punched in the face.
I'm saying that the girl.
Yeah, she knows that now.
No, but I'm saying the girl.
She told me she felt set up, but it wasn't that she felt set up. It's just he knew it was going to happen. He knew that she couldn't control herself, the same as we all have our things that we need to control.
Look, I was told. Look, let me give you my side. I was told that they had an hour talk before this happened. Listen, they've had an hour talk.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. Oh my god!
Got nothing that never talked in the past, and now sitting there and talking one to one. And he's telling them, look, I want you to come down and just watch what happens. All right. He's telling her, listen to me. I just want you to come down and watch what's happening.
He's okay.
Right. He's telling her this.
She told me.
And he's saying to her, if you don't, this is gonna happen. He's told her this is gonna happen.
And it was right.
And then again, it was right. Like, if you're telling me, look, bruv, don't go into that dog's pen, because that dog over there is really vicious and he's gonna bite you. He's gonna bite you.
But if you knew she was gonna get
punched,
punched,
do I go into that pen and try to, or do I just make sure that door's shut and just walk round it? Do I? Because this is what I'm trying to say. When people telling you, bruv, look, this is gonna happen, just roll with this way. And you're going, no, you know what? I'm going to go rogue on you. And then go, oh, my rogue went fucked up. No shit, Sherlock. No shit, Sherlock.
No, you're not completely on a tangent. You're not even listening to what I was saying.
No, you're not listening to what I'm telling you. I just told you the facts of what happened that day.
Stop the crack.
See, she does feel that.
You know what? There's somebody in the comments saying crackhead that can't even spell crack. They spell crack.
Busker, you've got to stop talking.
There's somebody that can't even spell the word crackhead.
Mute those drunks, Manny, please. I can't take it anymore.
What are you saying, Raj?
this particular recording here that I was playing,
yeah,
recording of a group of some of these regulars at Speaker's Corner who are mocking Amy being punched. The girl actually says Amy deserved it, and she goes to the park. So listen again. Hold on. So listen properly. This is a group chat.
Very, very like he's a good point. That is a good point. But to be fair, he says he was actually trying to make a point. He goes, Amy got punched, blah blah blah. Muslims are saying don't help her. Chivalry is dead. And then within the next
I think we must point out that the person who punched Amy, I believe, was a non-Muslim.
They were
posting the Muslim punched Amy.
He was
all over it. But you know what?
Yeah, she pushed him. He does not. I'm sorry. This might be an unpopular opinion, but that was self-defense. Why are you gonna push him?
So the girl says it's self-defense here, and I'll ask again: if you push me to this young lady and I punched you straight in the face, is it self-defense? Why is it okay for Amy to be punched in the face because you do dislike her ideology, but you don't apply the same rule to yourself?
Yeah.
This is why the Muslim community, is in such a mess. You have this weird, what I call kind of a sense of morality, which is skewered by your kind of kuffar mentality of seeing everybody else as less than you. It's like a racist, supremacist kind of ideology.
Hassan is with his boyfriend. So jealous.
Okay, guys, shall we finish off, or do we have another topic?
Yeah, I do want to talk about the uncle that came down because I'm getting some more information. I might do a whole show on this because there was a Sikh brother, Mr. Khalsa Singh, who was down today. We're gonna have some Sikh brothers coming down. So once we meet the Sikh brothers, we'll start doing. Sorry, this will be a Sikh supremacist fight as well. We'll chuck out the Turk and we'll chuck out Baskar. We'll chuck out everybody. We'll have Sikhs on it from now on. So there's gonna be a couple of Sikhs coming in. That we're going to meet. So I think there's going to be another guy I'm going to meet, Taj Singh or something. He's coming down next week. Hopefully you're not going to go there harassing me. I've got enough people to deal with. A lot of freaking little Sikhs on now. So there you go.
Raj, are you at the corner next week?
Yeah, I'm there next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what it is, this Mr. Khalsa Singh was there, and there's another Sikh guy who's being manipulated. He's an uncle, and Saeed and the Lodgen obviously don't like me. So Saeed Ali Diba's little prostitute don't like him, and obviously they don't like him. So what they've done, they've made him do a video denouncing me, and it's going to be a disgrace to Sikhs. I apologize beforehand.
Have you watched Simon's video?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I love it. He's done a wicked mix track on your one.
Ali Diba's little prostitute. Shall we play our dance music?
Did we get the prostitute?
Yeah. YouTube.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? We did a bad boy track for you, family. Yeah, I love it, man.
Do you two want to do a little rave for us in that little room on my track?
We can look, you see what I mean about him being homophobic? He just thinks gay people just go.
Yeah, no, but they do. They dance a lot.
Two cans of beer and it's a right.
That's it. Yeah, that's all it took.
Come on,
Raj. Let's charge 25 quid for everyone to watch. We make a fortune.
Yeah, we can watch it. Come on, dance. Come on, dance.
Everyone start tipping. Go on,
Hassan. And Simon, dance for us. Come on. Nice to go techno. Dance. You're not even dancing though. What kind of a gay man are you?
Yeah, alright.
I feel gay people automatically start dancing when they hear music. And he's a prostitute.
Mate, no money, no honey, no money. No money, no honey. That's it.
Start sucking money at them, man. Start sucking money at them. They'll do it. Oh, he can't get money when he's one little money. Money Cinderella. They call him Manny Cinderella. What do you think of the track? Is it good? Is it good?
Well, not one person in the chat room is tipped. Not one.
They can't anyway because he hasn't got monetary value on
Yeah,
there.
mate, your boy's got some banging
Yeah, you got to get 2,000.
You can't control me. We're not under Sharia yet. You're mad.
Sorry, Manny, you got to get 2,000 before you can do that. I'm at 200.
Can I just say something? Mr. Carter said, I'm going to put my email below. I want to email you. I want to ask you a couple of questions. Privately, obviously, Mr. Carter saying.
Please, yeah, man, right on there, please. I'd love to.
So are we ending the show? What's going on? Because I want to go to Abu Talha's show.
No, why are you, bruv? Why have you got sleep to go to or something?
I want to go to Abu Talha's show. That famine victim.
Do you know geezer, man?
You know what? Yeah. Do you know what? They're calling me racist, but calling me a famine victim. Yeah.
Oh no!
Even the Irish have had a famine. Yeah,
Dude,
they call them racist. They call me racist. They call me racist.
Man, that guy never leaves home without that card, bro.
Do you know what?
He's got like an Islamophobe, racist.
Yeah, I know they call me everything.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm finishing the broadcast now.
One minute. I need to just put an email. Email me.
Please. Mate, I'm going to a better show than you, man. You can go to that Avatar show all day long, bro, man. I'd rather talk with a Titan, fam. I'd rather talk with a Titan.
Right, I've sent Mr. I want to talk to you, Mr. Klaus, I think. And hopefully I'll do a live stream about that poor uncle being used by those freaking Islamic ray guns. Islamic ray guns. No, I'm not. I've already done a stream earlier. Taj Singh. Taj Singh's coming down to the park this week, Manny. If he's a good guy, we'll get him onto a live stream. If he's a lunatic, we won't let him on.
Titan TV's on.
Anyway, all right, guys.
Anyway, take care, everybody, and I'm going to jump into that one. Anyway, take care, man. Let me speak to. Let's speak to. Stay on.